first conference loss in Big East history. For the Mountaineers, running back Robert Walker recorded his 6th straight 100-yard game. West Virginia clinched a share of the conference title before a record crowd of over 70,000.
West Virginia has done it.
This season, the Canes are back in charge. 2 weeks ago, quarterback Frank Costa got the Florida State monkey off his back as Miami rolled to a 34-20 victory over their in-state rival.
They said I couldn't win a big game, and they said we couldn't beat Florida State with me being a quarterback.
Now the Hurricanes want the Big East Conference Championship back. After a slow start, the Mountaineers are coming off 2 high-powered victories, scoring 71 points offensively, capped by that bizarre last-second win over Pitt last week.
Down the sideline. Oh, he's got it! Touchdown, West Virginia!
The Ears want to force a Miami stumble again this year. The Hurricanes just want to extinguish the opponents. Miami, West Virginia, the rematch next. The hills of West Virginia are alive with the colors of autumn. But in Mountaineer Field, the only colors that matter today are the old gold and blue and the orange, green, and white as the Miami Hurricanes, ranked number 7, take on the Mountaineers of West Virginia. We welcome you to Morgantown, West Virginia, along with Rick Walker. I'm John Sanders. Certainly the win 2 weeks ago over Florida State got some renewed respect for Miami, but they come here not looking for respect. It might be revenge.
I think you hit it right on the point. This is the game that they've had circled on their calendar. They want the Mountaineers in the worst way. They were embarrassed. They lost the conference share and really took them in a spiral turn for the worse.
Certainly did. And Frank Costa, respect for him coming off that terrific game against the Seminoles.
Oh, you have to like that. I mean, this kid was much maligned. He stepped up in a big game, made the big passes, and showed that he's worthy of all the past greatness of the Canes quarterbacks.
And certainly gained the respect of his coach, Dennis Erickson, talking about Frank Costa.
Obviously played extremely well against Florida State and is doing what we thought he could do. He's making the right decisions, doing the right things. Has really become a leader of this football team. And that game 2 weeks ago, I know, gave him confidence.
If there was a negative from that game 2 weeks ago, it was the fact that James Stewart suffered the ankle sprain, and he's not been able to practice since.
Well, that is tough. Here's a guy who's 245 pounds, runs a 4.3 and a 40. They'll miss him, but Jones steps in, and here's a guy that comes in for you who's probably not just as big, but close to it. Look at the numbers. 4.4 average per run, and he's got quick speed, and you got Ferguson, so they're still pretty good.
And they also have that defense to take the pressure off the offense because they have number 76, Warren Sapp.
Mr. Sapp, this guy is incredible. You look at the pressures, the plays for losses. It's pretty much impossible to block this guy one-on-one, which allows Riley and the rest of that group to get after you.
Well, let's talk about the Mountaineers of West Virginia. Last year, of course, a terrific year for Robert Walker and the running game, but it's not there so far this year.
Well, it's tough. Graduation hurt him in the offensive line, and until these young guys mature, which has started to happen a little bit, you won't see the big run. That has lacked in the Mountaineer running game, and you need that. It certainly takes a lot of pressure off your quarterback.
And you talk about the running game. It has not been there this year. We talked to head coach Don Nealon about Walker and also Walker's absence this year as far as the running game is concerned. Here's what he had to say.
We haven't been able to run the football like we would like. Our offensive line, we got a lot of new people in there. We've had some guys go down on us a little bit, and graduation hit us hard. Consequently, we've thrown the ball more than I thought we might.
And throwing it much better is this quarterback, Chad Johnston.
Well, it helps to have the quarterback situation settled. They were rotating 2 quarterbacks. Chad stepped up, hit some big plays, and now it gives him a double threat. He's got great wide receivers and good balance.
He had a terrific game last week against the University of Pittsburgh. He'll need another one this afternoon. We have the opening kickoff from Mountaineer Field in Morgantown coming your way right after this word from your local Big East station.
Only one adult cereal could be this much fun to eat. Basic 4. A playful mixture of textures and tastes with crispy flakes, sweet and tangy fruits, and crunchy nuts. Splash on cold milk and get something tasty from the 4 food groups. Basic 4. Tastes so good.
Will that be all, son?
You'll forget it's for adults.
I'm Gardner Brown.
And I'm Jan Brown. Did you know that the average family spends hundreds of dollars every year on insurance?
And often only get a piece of paper or a 1-800 number to call.
We think you deserve more than that. We'll give you straight talk on your coverages, discounts if you qualify, and a price you can live with.
We're two agents who care about giving you the best in service on any insurance matter.
So call or stop by our Allstate office in South Bureau Square today for an insurance review.
We'll give you the service you deserve.
Capacity here at Morgantown at Mountaineer Field is just over 63,000, and somehow last year they squeezed 70,000 plus into this fine facility. We should be near capacity on a beautiful fall afternoon. The temperature 59 degrees. The wind very light, will not be a factor. Partly sunny skies are forecast, and let's check out your Rolling Rock Chalk Talk.
All right, John, you will start first of all with the Miami Hurricanes. Miami's strength is his defense. The #1 assignment is to stop Robert Walker. Keep him down. I mean, the Mountaineers' ground game has been suffering a bit. The big three, Sapp, Lewis, and Riley, are almost impossible to block one-on-one. They give the Canes a big advantage. Next, Miami on the offensive side, their leading rusher, James Stewart, is out with a sprained ankle. Larry Jones and Danielle Ferguson, they've got to pick up the slack and give Frank Costa the option to run past. If you do that, boy, he can be tough. As we get to the home club, the Mountaineers, the wide receivers have got to block. You have got to get a big play. And in order to get Walker out on the perimeter, you need wide receivers that can block so you can get a big one. Also, no drops. You're going to have to hold the ball. That would be a key. If you get a chance to move the chains and keep Costa and that company off the side, on the sidelines, rather, you will definitely have to do it. When it gets to defense, John, no bones about it. Gang tackle. The Canes live off the short pass and the big run. They take those proper pursuit angles, arm tackles, all the whole deal. It won't cut it. You're going to have to really lock up.
Head coaches, a good matchup here. Don Nehlen's had great success. Here are the officials. We'll hear most often from the referee, Buddy Ward, as he handles things. He's handled the coin toss, and Miami has won the toss. The Hurricanes will be receiving. They'll be going from right to left. That's west to east. There is Dennis Erickson in his 6th year. What a tremendous career he has had. 57 wins, only 8 losses. There's Don Nehlen now in his 15th season. 105 wins at West Virginia. Also a former head coach at Bowling Green, and he was an assistant at the University of Michigan. One of the nation's premier kickers. Todd Sauerbrunn will handle the kickoff. Shipman and German will be deep. You know, you touched on an important point for West Virginia. We'll talk about it more when we get to the offense. You know, you lose people like Kearney, Baker, and Hill. Not only could they catch the ball last year, they were good blockers downfield.
And they had a little more size. I think the key to it, as you mentioned, is that in any game, you look at the Nebraska Cornhuskers and all the success that they've had, wide receivers, tight ends getting down and blocking.
Football game is underway. And this one is deep, as they all are, into the end zone, and Al Shipman will not run it back. So the Mountaineers will come out and start at the 20-yard line on their first possession, led by quarterback Frank Costa. The Mountaineers beginning at their 20, 55% completion rate, 8 touchdowns in 5 games. He works behind a big line that averages 296 pounds per man. They also set a record for offensive running earlier this year against Georgia Southern. Zev Lumelski is certainly the leader on that line. The backfield, as we mentioned, they are missing James Stewart, but they could have as many as 4 Joneses on the field at one time offensively. 1st and 10 for the Canes at the 20-yard line. Long count. And the first carry of the afternoon goes to Larry Jones. Jones gets about 4 on the play out to the 24-yard line. There to meet him is Toffoni, Dr. Toffoni, and David Mayfield. Let's set that West Virginia defense. The line giving away 32 pounds per man. Leader in sacks is Stephen Perkins. He has 4 sacks. Leading tackler, junior college transfer linebacker J.T. Thomas is the leading tackler on the team. And Aaron Beasley leads the nations with 7 interceptions, 1 for a touchdown. That was last week against Pitt. 2nd down 6 from the 24-yard line. And once again, it's Jones. Runs into the pile and is driven down short of a first down. He's near the 28-yard line, where Barry Hawkins from Marietta, Pennsylvania, number 99, made the tackle.
Boy, it's just great. Watch the surge. That offensive line, they just take people off, and you got to get in there if you're the Mountaineers and get a crease, get a blue hat in between those white jerseys. That was excellent surge.
Couple of changes now for this offense as Trent Jones leaves the field. They'll bring in an extra receiver on 3rd down and about 2.5. The football game is just underway in Morgantown. 13:45 remaining in the first quarter. Miami taking the opening kickoff from the 20-yard line. 3rd play of the opening drive. Again on the ground. First down as Jones lunges across the 30 near the 32-yard line before he's dropped. Again, Matt Tafoni made the tackle.
You talked a lot about the fact that Big Zev 77 in white, and what Miami wants to do is really pound you off tackle. Sure, Stewart is out, but when you got a guy 311 pounds, and if they put that in the program, that means he's probably about 325 pounds.
Exactly
about
right.
Game day, the way they feed these guys in college. So he is definitely a key. We'll keep our eye on him.
The initial first down puts the football at the 32-yard line. Nothing but running plays, nothing but Larry Jones so far. They go from the shotgun now with 3 wide receivers, 4 receivers on the pattern. Shipman makes the catch. He's wrestled out of bounds on the play. Shipman made the catch. It's Canute Curtis who graded out number 1 for the West Virginia defense last week against Pitt. There he is making the tackle from Amityville, New York. This is not the only action, of course, in college football. Scoreless game so far from Boston College. Rutgers there. Pitt and Virginia Tech will play at 1 o'clock. Syracuse and Temple in the Big East playing later this evening. At the 40-yard line. 2nd down and a couple. Costa completing his first pass. Shipman remains in there. 4 wide receivers in this pattern. A little bit of a delay. Shipman slips and he goes down. No place to go. Stephen Perkins with some help from number 3, Matt Tafoni there defensively, and they shut that play down quickly for a loss.
Dr. Tafoni, boy, he had one of the best hits I witnessed last week. And Perkins, who's just a guy about 255 pounds, who is really as strong as an ox. He's agile. These 2 guys have to play big today for the Mountaineers.
They'll bring in the extra defensive backs now, and that certainly has been an area. We counted up yesterday the number of injuries they have to the defensive unit. Even though the starters are in there, they're all banged up.
The MASH unit.
3rd down and 4. Ball at the 38-yard line. Costa looks, throws down the middle. The pass is broken up. Incomplete.
Boy, Manuel, great read. Great read and break on the football.
He got between Jonathan Harris and the football, and it'll be punting time for the Hurricanes.
You know, we talked a little bit about the dink passes. This is just a great in move. He closes on the football well. No cause for flag on that. That's an excellent defensive play. And then pressure always helps. There's Puppy Wright. A little extra knotted on the quarterback.
Vanderpool deep to receive the kick from Mike Chrissy. Chrissy gets it off at about the 30. A good kick that will hang up, and the fair catch called for right at the 25-yard line. For West Virginia, pretty good start. One first down for Miami. Then they turn it over. We'll have more football coming up from Morgantown right after this. Still scoreless with 12 minutes to play. Ball for the first time this afternoon as they set up offensively at their own 25-yard line. That offensive unit is still huddled around Don Nealon. Quarterback is Chad Johnston, coming off the 2nd highest passing game in school history last week against Pitt. The line averaging 276 pounds, but it's young, as Rick mentioned, and Tom Ropsock is the only senior on that line. His job today is to take on Warren Sapp, that's all. And while they try to open holes for the backs, the Ears are averaging just 129 yards on the ground, and we've already documented the struggles of Robert Walker so far this year, and they are off to just a short gain on the very first play. It's Walker on the first carry. The tackle made by Ray Lewis. That's not surprising, is it?
Yeah, that's what we talked about. Lewis, their leading tackler, and I like a guy because he gets there first more often than not. Terrific athlete.
He is the leading tackler in the conference. The first play gains almost nothing as Johnson comes back to the huddle. It'll be 2nd down. It's still about 10. There's Johnston, a redshirt sophomore from Peterstown, Pennsylvania, on 2nd and 10 from the 25. Johnston looks to pass, guns it up the middle. The catch is made near the 32-yard line. Ray Lewis again there on the tackle. The tight end, Purnell, Lovett Purnell, made the catch. Let's talk about the Miami defense. That line is anchored by Sapp And the only senior on the line is Pat Riley. He's very strong. The key, of course, as it always is the quickness of this team. We mentioned linebacker Ray Lewis, a starter last year as a true freshman, the top tackler in the Big East. And safety Malcolm Pearson has 3 interceptions for that defensive secondary. There's Riley. It's 3rd down. Walker leaning for the first down, but he's driven to the turf about a yard short. Lewis would not give way, and Walker's going to come up a yard shy.
One of the things we talked about, John, in the open is that you have to keep a good mesh. You have to keep a hat on the Hurricanes. They get off blocks so well, and clickers we'll see coming up. 70, you scream, well, we don't see this. When you're outnumbered 3 or 4 to 1 on defense on short yardage, no excuse for that. Got to get more blue shirts around the ball.
The leading kicker in college football, averaging 50 yards per kick. That's amazing this many games into the season. Todd Sauerbrunn drives another one deep. Jamie German back at the 6-yard line. Starts up the middle, now comes right. 20, 25, 30. Very close to a block in the back as they knock him out of bounds near the 33-yard line. It'll be Miami's 2nd possession when we come back to Morgantown after this word from your local station. We've already seen a good example of the offensive struggle of West Virginia. They could not convert on that 3rd and short.
Yeah, you don't get many opportunities like that. Coordinator Mike Jacobs here trying to relate to his troops. Hey, guys, we got inches or a yard. Get in front of people. That time Chris Click had a perfect no-hitter going up against Ray Lewis. Click's 300-pounder, and you just got to, swell up and make a block.
And it was Lewis, of course, who made the hit. 1st and 10, ball at the 33-yard line. Lone setback is Jones. 3 wide receivers in this pattern for Costa. It's Jones at the 35, leaning to the 40-yard line. He'll pick up 7 on the play, tackled by J.T. Thomas. Thomas with 69 tackles coming into the game.
Talk about big guys, 6'7", 330-pound Ricky Perry. Again, these 2 tackles, we talked about Zev, now Ricky, they get behind him and these backs just ride him, and you're going to get 3 or 4 yards per game. This guy is an exceptional talent.
So he's listed at 310 pounds. That makes him about 340.
Oh, 330, 335, of course.
That's 2nd down and 3. 9.5 minutes to play. We're still in the opening quarter. There is no score. And there's movement all over the place. Ricky Perry was pulling, obviously, on that play.
Yeah, they took off. Casey Jones, probably their best player at center. And then Costa, you don't expect to have that when you got the kind of experience.
The officials will sort it out.
False start on the offense.
First penalty.
Quarterback says, hut. The ball doesn't come. Guys are moving, so you'll see 2 or 3 of these. One thing about Miami, and I'm sure that Coach Erickson wants to get it done, is penalties. They average 8 or 9.
5-yard penalty, replay, 2nd down.
Becomes a 2nd down and 8. They back the football off to the 35-yard line. What gorgeous weather this year. Wasn't that way last year. It was very cold here.
Better believe it.
But the Canes were ready. They imported some heated benches, which they're using. They have to, I guess. They paid for them. Harris is the motion man. Now he reverses. Costa looks left, throws left. Harris makes the catch and is spun down at the 42-yard line. Charles Emmanuel, number 2 there defensively.
I think he's going to be a little short. You keep him in front of you. That's all you can ask for the secondary. And I'm sure that's been the thing for Washington, Mayfield, Beasley. Just let these guys stay underneath and then tackle well.
Jonathan Harris from Houston, Texas. And that is the state that has produced the 2nd most Miami players. Obviously, they don't need to go too far in the state of Florida to find football players.
Backyard.
Matter of fact, there are 18 players from Florida, including 8 from Miami on the West Virginia team. 3rd and short. He's got the first down. J.T. Thomas made the tackle on the play. But we do have a flag down once again. It's Jones who's done the bulk of the carrying. There is Lumelski, the senior on that line.
That's who you run behind. They're here with Perry. 73, 77. You just hug them. These guys are they're monsters. 6'7", both 300-pound plus guys who can really block well at the point of attack.
Against the defense.
They will take that 5-yard penalty because it's a first down, pushing the football out to the 48.
It appeared that Perkins was a little tight on that. This guy can't even get in the huddle. Their tackles don't fit in the huddle.
8 minutes and 14 seconds remaining, first quarter. Scoreless game so far from Morgantown. A sun-splashed Mountaineer Field. 15th year that they've played here, and they've played terrific. This is not a friendly place to come. Pump fake, now going deep, and there he is, way out in front is Jones. He catches at the 10, into the end zone, touchdown. He beat Aaron Beasley. Beautiful pump fake by Costa, and it was all over after that.
And that is the benefit of when you can throw underneath, get a few things going, then you get the pump. It hurts you so many different ways. Number one, you give Costa some pretty good time. He lays this out, and he's safe with the football. You wonder, why is it hanging so long? He's so wide open. It's the toughest throw in football. Good feet, way to finish and score.
Touchdown comes at 7:54 of the first quarter. Dane Prewitt will be on to attempt the extra point. Chris T. Jones, touchdown catch number 4, 52-yard strike. The extra point is no good. Miami misses the conversion. Prewitt has missed his second PAT of the year, but it is Miami on the board first. They lead it 6-0. More football coming up from Morgantown, West Virginia, right after this.
Teams is tough. Snap, not a great snap, but it looks like he had a pretty good hit on that. May have been tipped. The Mountaineers sky. You get a guy who can jump. We used to call him a leaper. Get right in the middle and get those hands up. Not a bad drive. That's their style, John.
The 52-yard touchdown pass. Just 3 plays. There were a couple of penalties, one each way mixed in that drive. 67 yards. 2 minutes and 11 seconds is what it took. Dane Prewitt to kick off. There are the 2 deep men. Vanterpool and Gary are deep.
John, notice what else happens after this big play. The crowd.
Yes.
Takes the crowd out of the game.
They'd like to keep him out of the game. Vanterpool from the 12, the 20. Catches a block across the 35 near the 37-yard line before he's put down. A good return. The Mountaineers will have pretty decent field position as Rashawn Vanterpool. Excellent return. We're in the first quarter. 7 minutes and 46 seconds to play.
Well, that's nice. Good wall in there. I mean, you find guys that get a return. Those up backs will give you some clearance. They won't be standing around, and it helps you get into some nice daylight.
Spot the ball at the 38-yard line. Thanks to Vanterpool's return. He had a terrific game offensively last week against the University of Pittsburgh.
He's Mr. Everything, all purpose.
He'll be split wide to the left side. They put Freeman in the slot to the left. Walker is the lone setback. They split Abraham to the right. Play action fake. Looking down the middle. Incomplete. Good hit put on right at the 45-yard line. It was intended for the tight end, Lovett Purnell, but it was Malcolm Pearson, number 38, with the stick.
Malcolm X Pearson with a big-time stick. He had good pass pro on that. We talked about lack of drops. You know, as you watch this, that's a clear look. You won't get that kind of protection usually, so when you get it, you have to take advantage of it. That ball was there. Lovett's got to catch those. That's one of the keys that we discussed in the Rolling Rock Open. If it's there, catch it, move the chains.
Put it away. 2nd and 10. West Virginia's second possession. Freeman, the motion man. They go to Walker. And he is hit right at the line of scrimmage by Rohan Marley. Now, Marley's only 5'8", 205 pounds, but he comes to play every time.
Just call him a jackhammer. I mean, this guy brings it. The beauty on this is that Rob saw great double-team blocks. He's sapped eliminated, if you can believe that or not. And there's the pow. I mean, he's there, right in there, Rydell helmet, right under the chin, drives it back. Got to get a hat on it.
He and James Burgess alternate starts, and today was Rohan Marley's turn to start. 3rd down and 9. They go out of the shotgun formation. Johnston looks, now feels pressure, gets away. Downfield, is he in bounds? No. Vanterpool made the catch right along the sidelines, but he was out of bounds. C.J. Richardson right there on the coverage for the Canes.
when you play quarterback against Miami, boy, you have to be somewhat quick of foot. Now watch this. See, there's Mr. Sapp. He eludes him, works on. What I like is he's still looking downfield. Thinks he has a receiver. They're inches off right towards the end. Tough break for the Mountaineers. Great feet. See, he's thinking about it. Just not enough turf to keep it in.
It'll be the second punt coming up for Sauerbrunn. Certainly well above his average with his first. It was only 61 yards. This is not a good punt by his standards at all. The official will spot it near the 33-yard line, and you see the reaction of Todd Sauerbrunn, no doubt the nation's best kicker, but he might get another chance. There's a flag down. He's not leaving the field just yet.
I can't believe my eyes on that one.
Didn't even look like the same guy.
No, it was like me trying to punt.
It's against West Virginia. Oh, offsetting penalties. Don Nealon, what a great job he's done here. He realizes that at a place like West Virginia, it's not like Florida where they just keep coming and coming and coming. You kind of go in waves. You have your up cycle, and then you're going to have some downtime.
Well, you think about the 88 team, dominant team, last year's team, had a great record, had a couple of wins that were awful close.
10-yard penalty from the previous spot, be a first down.
Well, that is a break for the Mountaineers. You talked about the penalties that head coach Dennis Erickson has seen his team commit. That one will cost them possession of the football.
Facing that wouldn't happen if we were at the Orange Bowl. That's the thing about being on the road.
So that short kick will be just a memory, because it will not go down in the books. The football will come out 10 yards to the 49, and a new set of downs for West Virginia. You'd like to see if the Mountaineers can take advantage now of this opportunity. Instead of 3 and out, it's 1st and 10 near midfield. Popping off on the left side was Kenny Holmes against Chris Click. Let's see which way they're going to walk. It's encroachment. That's another 5 yards. Thanks to penalties against Coach Erickson's team, the Mountaineers have moved it into Miami territory. The ball at the 46-yard line. We still have 6:46 to play in the opening quarter. Along with Rick Walker, I'm John Sanders. Great to have you with us this afternoon on the Big East Football Television Network. First down 5. Freeman in motion. It's Walker with it. No place to go. What a great charge by Kenny Holmes. He just pushed his blocker right back into the play, and Sapp came in to finish it off. A loss of 5.
I have to wonder what Chris Click's thinking about. This is twice now he's had an opportunity to do some things. This is a straight dive, and he's going backwards. I mean, Kenny Holmes, I'm sure this guy's strong in the weight room, but that's ridiculous. He's taking a 300-pounder, putting him on a forklift. He crushed him.
Brought it back 5 yards. 2nd down and 10. Kenny Holmes from Vero Beach, Florida.
Doesn't look friendly.
Vanderpool and Minifield are split far left side. Jimmy Gary is split far to the right. I think we're going to have a delay of game call. Yes. The play clock at exactly 6 minutes to go is wound down to 0, so it took them too long to get the play off. It'll be 2nd down and 15. Penalties helped them to get into Miami territory, and the loss and another penalty moving them back.
It's my philosophy that over a course of a game, these flags will work themselves out. West Virginia's got to make a play. I mean, they're hanging around, but they've got to make a play.
The only first down they have made so far in the game came on a penalty. 2nd down and 15. Shotgun formation. Gary gets away from one tackler, 50-yard line. He's nailed as he crosses into Miami territory near the 49 by Quan Russell and also C.J. Richardson, who loves to hit people.
Boy, these Canes, they get to the football. We'll talk a lot about Warren Sapp throughout the afternoon, and so far, I mean, I like what West Virginia's been able to do with their best offensive lineman, Tom Robsock. He's been able to keep a mesh. Jay Brooks has been they've been double teaming, some tag blocking in, but they got to get some production out of it.
It's 3rd down and 8 from the Miami 49. Again, it's the shotgun formation, trying to set up a screen. Walker's there, and so's the defender. Immediately on the play was Ray Lewis. He smelled the screen, and he makes the hit for a loss. Back at the 46-yard line. It'll be 4th down.
Number 52, Ray Lewis.
A lot of no-hitters for the Mountaineers. They're trying to take advantage of that quick pursuit of the defensive line. See, as you watch, Ray gets in, and there's Buddy. Buddy's looking around going, hey, look out. You don't need a lookout block. You need a guy to get in and chip out and help you.
Jamie German will be deep. Again, an out-of-character punt. That's 2 in a row for Sauerbrunn. I'll bet he hasn't done that in his entire career. This one's out near the 27-yard line, and he's not happy about it. It's 6-0, Miami leading West Virginia. We'll be back with more Big East football from Morgantown in just a moment. Sauerbrunn, because I have never seen him kick 2 in a row in that fashion.
I don't know if I'd say a lot to him. That's probably, he's been going all the way back to Pop Warner before he's had 2 shanks.
27 yards on that kick. Still comes out to a 44-yard average. That would be good for a lot of kickers. It's not in his mind. The football at the 27-yard line. The Canes will have it for the 3rd time here in the opening quarter. Picked up a 1st down, then punted on their first possession. Took them 3 plays to cover 67 yards the second time they had the football. The miss of the extra point and the 6-0 football game as Miami prepares to start from its own 27-yard line. And it'll be nothing but Big East football for the Canes for the rest of this year. They're only 1-0 in conference play. There's Costa from the shotgun. This is a 5-receiver formation. They're all out. Shipman comes back, makes the catch at the 30-yard line, gets some help, lowers his head, and down he goes near the 31-yard line.
Yeah, great deep team pursuit. That is excellent.
Thomas and Emmanuel finally teaming up.
John, we talked a lot about the passes, the short passes underneath. Now watch the blue shirts. They go in, I mean, in reckless abandon. These guys are getting to the ball. They're trying to get off blocks, and they converge. That's the way you coach it.
Pretty good block by Jamie German there as he came up. But you like those blocks. You can pick them off when they're coming back. It'll be 2nd down and 6 from the 31-yard line. 3 wide receivers all split to the left side for Miami. Instead, they come straight ahead near the 35 and come up just a little bit short of that 1st down. Thomas made the tackle on the play.
Made by Steve Perkins.
And it was Danielle Ferguson out of Columbus High School in Miami who carried the football.
3rd down.
I like JT a lot. He is really active in the middle.
It'll be 3rd down and a couple from the 35. And once again, the fans, all 65,000, minus about 500 or 600, I suppose.
They're here. They're just out in the parking lot. They're still tailgating.
Time is called. The officials take time out. I'm not sure exactly what this problem is all about. We'll sort it out.
We have a sideline warning. Team needs to get back.
The Miami players a little too close to the sidelines for the satisfaction of the officials. What's the penalty for that? Do you know?
Oh, man.
A sideline warning.
That's a good one. Nothing like playing on the road.
Clock moving again inside 3 minutes. The pass is incomplete, intended for Daphnis. The tight end could not hang on near the 40. Harold Kidd, number 22, the senior from Florida. He's from Okeechobee, Florida, with the pass breakup and the 4th down.
Yeah, that's what you miss. I think you miss a James Stewart on this one. They go back in short yardage situation, trying to get a little tight end. The pass is behind him. It's not a great pass. It allows Kidd a chance to recover, and he makes a play.
Vanterpool deep to receive the kick. Chrissy's first was 37 yards. There's Vanterpool standing at his own 25. Pretty good rush that time, but he gets it away, making the fair catch at the 32-yard line. West Virginia's 3 starts here in the first quarter have been from their own 25, from their own 38, and this one will come from the 32-yard line. It's a Miami 6-0 lead here in Morgantown with 2 minutes and 33 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
I'm not sure how they got 70,000 plus in here last year. They must have been standing on the rooftops of the athletic buildings, the football offices.
I'm surprised they reported it. I'm sure they were here. They were hanging off rafters. They were on the lights. I mean, that was didn't get any bigger. It was the biggest win I had to be ever here.
Well, there was one other very big win they had here, and that was the Penn State team. You know how they feel about that.
About that. Pennsylvania.
Play action fake. Johnston with some time. The pass is caught for a first down. Making the reception is Zach Abraham. Run out by Chad Wilson. The Mountaineers get their first down offensively. They did have one thanks to a penalty, but the completion to the offensive player of the week right here.
Had to happen sooner or later. Pretty basic out, as we talked about in the open. Got to catch him. See, I like this. I like the way he finishes. Wide receiver, lowering that shoulder, picking up an additional 2 or 3 yards.
Good gain on the play out to midfield. An 18-yard pickup for Zach Abraham from Wheeling, West Virginia. And how great it is to have a young man from this area have a career game as he did last week against the University of Pittsburgh. Walker on the inside handoff, and he is wrapped up immediately by Pat Riley. You talked a little bit about Riley. There is a flag down, but he was all over Walker there for no gain. The penalty will
300-pounders lost 10 or 15 pounds of body fat in the offseason. Really tried to get lean. Has good speed, great strength. He's 6'6", and when you're playing next to Warren Sapp and you have Ray Lewis in the middle, I call it that triangle.
Formation. Not enough men on the line of scrimmage against the offense. Decline. Second down.
The penalty declined. It'll be second down. They give him a yard on the play. Let's make it 2nd and 9 from the 49-yard line, and Don Nealon's turn to rail just a little bit.
It does make you sick. You know, you negate a good play by an alignment.
Out of the shotgun, fake the inside handoff, and the pass is intercepted. Picked off by Carlos Jones. And Jones fumbles it. Here comes Sapp, I think. Look at Sapp run.
Well, he's an old tight end, so he's
That's
still
right.
got some wheels.
He is a tight end, and he spikes it for good measure. Gerald Long made the tackle. The pass was intercepted by Carlos Jones, his 3rd interception of the season. And Miami comes right back after the INT.
Shooting, they just shoot yourself in the foot. Warren Sapp, now, they toss the ball around a lot with Miami. They actually practice this. One of the things that Greg McMackin wants to do is have his defensive players be able to get on offense real quick. So they actually have drills, and when a guy gets a pick, you know, they'll toss that ball around by design, and they try to create more of a big play.
They tossed it around a little bit on that interception return, and Sapp finally wound up with it. They ran him out at the 25-yard line. Lone setback is Ferguson, who has a quick word with his quarterback. You've got Chris T. Jones, who caught a touchdown pass earlier to the left. They go instead to Ferguson. He'll get about 5 yards on the play. Tackled by Barry Hawkins, the nose tackle. It'll be second down. Let's credit him with 4 on the play. Stopped at the, no, let's give him 5. 2nd and 5 from the 20.
Hawks got his work cut out for him. I mean, he's going to definitely have to play big going up against KC and, you know, Allen, those guys for the Hurricanes. It wouldn't surprise me today, John, if the Canes were to get a little closer, we wouldn't see Ryan Collins at quarterback.
We think we will see Ryan Collins at quarterback in the second quarter no matter what. Ferguson dropped for a loss. He was drilled on that play by John Browning, a redshirt sophomore from Miami.
You know, we talk a lot about the Canes up front, their front 7. Mountaineers have some guys that can play as well. See, that's just a great way to beat the block, keep your outside shoulder free, work upfield. That was picture perfect.
It brings up a 3rd and 9. The loss all the way back to the 24, a loss of 4. Just 22 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Miami leads 6-0. The Canes 1 out of 3 on 3rd down. They'll go from the gun. Costa sets, looks, feels pressure, rolls, throws toward the end zone. The catch is made at the 5-yard line. Slammed down at the 5 is Jamie German. He made the reception right along, excuse me, not Jamie German. It was Jonathan Harris, number 3 out of the backfield, who made the catch.
Boy, Harris snuck out on this. Steve Perkins did about all you could ask for. That's the way you flush the quarterback out of the pocket. It Costa shows some mobility. Nice strike on the run. It's a good operation.
First and goal now from the 5. That is the end of the first quarter. Miami will have a first and goal at the other end of Mountaineer Field when we come back. First 15 minutes are in the books, and Miami has the game's only touchdown. They lead it 6-0. The second quarter is just ahead. They play pretty well defensively. A couple of mistakes, but when you talk about looking at films, they may regret a few things they've done so far in the first quarter.
They hate themselves in the first quarter. I mean, whenever you get the Hurricanes in third down situation on every series, you have a chance to make a play. They give up one big one, and that's one thing you don't want to do. You want to make the Canes earn it, have them go long distance if they're going to score. They still got a shot at this, but somebody's got to step it up and make a play. I like Perkins and Hawkins so far up front. These guys have played well.
I'm John Sanders along with Rick Walker, and you're watching Big East football this afternoon from Morgantown, West Virginia. A beautiful autumn afternoon. And we thought when we got to the 5 we might see Ryan Collins. It is Frank Costa right now. A double tight end formation. The lone setback is Ferguson. He'll have the football. Drilled as he gets to the 4, then flipped forward to possibly the 3 in the arms of J.T. Thomas, the middle linebacker.
That is the way you feel. That is the way you feel. I like that. We'll get the chance to watch two great middle linebackers. Watch Thomas come in, sticks that Rydell helmet right on the ball. Good finish by Ferguson. A good tackle by Thomas.
Showed good leg strength to get it that extra yard.
He really did.
It's at the 3, second and goal. Sneak a look from the corner of the end zone. Wide receivers are Jones and German. Ferguson leaning to the 1-yard line. That's David Mayfield, number 30, who was on top.
Again, we talk a lot about the Canes up front, you know, and their size, and about Zev and Allen, KC, Terrell. And you watch it. Watch the helmet placement, pad placement. They move the guy, just get a good surge, and you turn the guys in. And West Virginia really does pretty well with feeling that. Once you turn the shoulders, you open up an alley, and they fill it in pretty well.
Looking for 6, and into the end zone goes Ferguson. Miami gets its second touchdown. Took them 3 cracks from the 5, but there are flags down, so hold on. The penalty was against the Mountaineers. It is declined, and the touchdown will stand. A 1-yard touchdown for Ferguson with 13:43 to play in the half.
I like this ground angle as you watch it again. Everybody's got a place, helmet placement. Unlike when the Mountaineers are on offense, you see somebody's pinned up, and then you get a good back like Ferguson just to follow his way. Route 66 into the end zone.
There's the touchdown scorer, Ferguson. That is his 3rd of the year. He only carried 31 times coming into the game. Of course, you look at the depth chart without James Stewart, obviously he's getting a chance for a little more playing time.
So many of them, though. I mean, everybody talented. You know, they're just waiting to turn. Toughest thing for them is to get Erickson to give them the nod.
They will go for 2 after missing the first extra point.
There's Collins.
They changed the play up a bit. They've got Jones, Harris, German, all split to the left side. Here comes the pressure, and down he goes. Ryan Collins dropped by Stephen Perkins. It's 12-0. Again, we have a flag down, so we have to hold on.
Illegal formation. Not enough men on the line of scrimmage. Decline.
They missed the try for 2.
Perkins again. Just great pressure. Great pressure.
So it is a 12-0 lead now for Miami. 13:23 to play in the first half. More Big East football coming up from Morgan. Look.
Well, if you're looking for good news for Mountaineer fans, Steve Perkins has really been a force so far. Here you watch it. He doesn't take that little dap block. He comes right in, pursues, gets all over Ryan Collins and stops him, and at least gives the Mountaineers a chance now, should they ever score.
All of the scoring has been done by the Canes. 2 touchdowns, no point afters so far. It's 12-0. 6 plays, 25 yards following the interception, and Ferguson with his 3rd rushing touchdown of the season.
One thing that you'll note, John, is that the good teams, when you make a mistake, they capitalize. They finish it off. And that's a pretty good indication.
Vanterpool and Gary deep to receive the kick of Prewitt. Still 13:21 remaining to be played in the opening half from Morgantown. Vanterpool from the 7. 20. Bang down as he gets to the 24-yard line. Some words exchanged along that sideline. Here it is statistically. Only 2 first downs for West Virginia. One of those came on a penalty. You see the -3 in the rushing. That just sticks out like a sore thumb.
It really is. It's suicide. I mean, you just cannot expect to go up against a club like Miami and not threaten with the run. Then we've had a couple of drops, one tip pass for a touchdown. So West Virginia right now is its own worst enemy.
Gail Catlett pounding on the window to say hi at just about that time. Teams are practicing again, and they'll be in the Big East Conference shortly for both football and basketball. Johnston got some pressure, gets it away at the 25, near the 30. Walker hit from behind and dropped as he moves out across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Baraka short from his right end position, had to track him down after a Mountaineer first down.
Well, you got to try some things. Then you get a short sprint out one way, you throw back the opposite side, you get the ball in the hands of Walker. Hey, we can't run with him, so we'll throw him the ball and let him take off. That's a lot of movement against the Hurricane defense. It's a good play.
A 12-yard pickup out to the 36, first down and 10.
Make people miss.
Must have felt strange for him to be in the open field like that.
Yeah, I like it. Let's do it again.
12:45 remaining. We're still in the opening half here in Morgantown. There's a play action fake. Johnston down the sidelines, and it's overthrown. Intended for Gary, but that's late hit will cost Miami 15 yards.
Yeah. Well, that hurt you there.
That was C.J. Richardson. You know how he likes to hit people, but you got to hit him in the field of play.
Yeah, it hurt you because you get the crowd back in. See, this over. And he knows where he's at. You can't do that. He's a great football player. You got to play, hold your emotions. You got a chance
out of bounds on the defense. 15 yards, first down.
That'll put it in Miami's half of the field at the 49.
Yeah, that hurts
you. Richardson quickly moves out to cover Zach Abraham. No place to go. A flag is down in the backfield. Walker does weave his way forward for 4 yards to the 45. Carlos Jones coming up to make the tackle, but let's check the penalty. I'm guessing hold.
Yeah, but see, this is not the club you weave against.
Holding on the offense. 10 yards. Replay, first down.
So the field position that was gained is going to be given back.
See if we can pick this up. Oh, boy, that's more than a hold. That's a seatbelt. I mean, he clapped seatbelt on him. That's a buckle up.
He had all of him.
Not to say that linemen don't hold, but you got to be crafty about it. You never hold when you're in the open end and there's nobody next to you. You got to grab and let that hand go down. Boy, Purnell, that was bad.
First and 20. Football backed off to the 41-yard line. And again, not much there. That's Jim Freeman, the ball carrier, in the arms of Corwin Francis, one of the linebackers for Miami. I think you made a good point about the fact that because they're so quick, you really can't weave against them. You have to go right at them.
It's not a weave team. You want to know why Warren Sapp is so great? Watch this. See, he stands up at the line of scrimmage. That time he gets the best. You got Edwards and Robsock there. He forces you to bevel out, to bow it. That allows the rest of the troops to get to the football. Great players do things to make everybody else around them better. It's an excellent example of Warren Sapp.
It'll be second down and 17. Ball at the 44 of West Virginia. The Mountaineers out of the gun as Johnston gets some pressure, steps up, but cannot get away. He goes down at the 41-yard line in the arms of Marvin Davis. A backup tackle behind Pat Riley, but it's Davis out of Homestead. South Dade Junior College making the tackle.
It's amazing how many guys, John, they have on defense that were state wrestling champs. Has about 5 or 6 starters that have that distinction.
Scoreless first quarter there on our other Big East game, and you see that Florida State is up on Clemson 7-0. South Carolina leads Vanderbilt. We'll try to keep you posted as we go along. Run down some scores at halftime. Of course, with the noon start, not everybody is underway. What a beautiful day here in West Virginia. It's 3rd and 20. That one is overthrown and incomplete. Intended for the tight end, Lovett Purnell. And either he went the wrong way or the ball was thrown the wrong way. It'll be 4th down.
Well, Russell was all over him. I mean, Russell should have been wearing number 82 on that one because he was all over him. And again, if you got to be able to beat a linebacker, as a tight end if you get it one-on-one.
See what Sauerbrunn can do. He leads the nation. He had that terrific kicking game against Nebraska in the Kickoff Classic, including a 90-yard punt. And this is more typical. At the 11, German. Up the middle. Down he goes near the 23-yard line.
It makes it very difficult to cover the punt when you have a guy that kicks as long as he does.
It is 12-0. We're in the second quarter. 10:23 remaining to be played in the first half. Back after this word from your local Big East station. One reason, defense. And Warren Sapp, we asked Dennis Erickson.
Well, we've got to play team defense more than anything, and it starts with Warren, because if they have to double him, it frees some other people up, and he's having a great year. If there's a better defensive lineman than him in college football, I'd like to see him. And I mean, he's the start of it all, and they've got to do some things to block him, and that opens up a lot of our other people.
Certainly does, Coach. At the 23, it's 1st down 10. Down the middle, the pass is complete at the 40 for a 1st down. Fighting away is Daphnis. It's across the 45 to the 46-yard line before he's tackled by Knute Curtis at the rush-in position.
Number 2, Charles Emanuel, and number 41, James Thomas.
It'll be 1st down at the 46. A gain of 23 on the play.
They need to try to get to Daphnis a little bit more. That was a basic hook and go, but when he breaks a tackle, picks up those extra yards. That's the one thing you have to stop against Miami.
6'3", 236-pounder from Miami, Norland High School. Little play action. They're trying to go deep down the far sideline. The catch is made. Spinning into the end zone. Miami touchdown. He really aired that one out.
Complete to number 87.
Yatil Green, a redshirt freshman. They expect big things of Green. He was in a jumping contest with Harold Kidd, but Yatil Green with a touchdown.
Well, he just played the ball better than he did. Costa just launches this one. I mean, it's going downfield. They really like Green. He has great abilities. There you get a little slip at the end. That hurt Kidd. Great concentration. Boy, that is outstanding. He goes up, elevates, concentrates, keeps his feet, and scores.
With 9:48 to play in the half. Yatil Green, a redshirt freshman, getting his chance to shine in the area he loves to play, because he's from up the road in Pittsburgh, about 70 miles away. They'll go for 2 again. Second time they've tried to go for 2. This time they use Costa. They go to the corner of the end zone, and he's got it. Jones for 2. But a flag is down.
Pass run from number 11, Frank Costa, number 85, Chris E. Jones.
Might have a push-up on this. They're trying to post him up. Pretty much a little basketball move with Jones, who's 6'4". Kidd 5'11". That time to get called.
Pass interference against the offense. 15 yards. Replay the try.
They'll try for 2 again.
Yeah, kind of push off right at the end. He goes up for it, but prior to the launch, may have just a little separation.
Well, they've changed their mind now and decided to kick it. Pruitt to attempt the extra point from the 25, so it becomes a 35-yard extra point.
They've had some tough times.
No good. Still no extra points, but 3 touchdowns for Miami. They lead it with 9:48 left in the half. With the score, Miami 18, West Virginia 0. We'll be back after these messages.
This is not the way you write it up for Don Nehlen. They cannot allow these guys to score on the bomb. Have to make them earn it. You want to have them slow it down and take the long route. So you look at this again. 2 plays, 77 yards, 35 seconds, and that won't cut it.
A 54-yard touchdown pass. The second long touchdown pass of the game for Costa. Vanterpool is deep. And Gary, the 2 deep men. Pruitt to kick it off. Still 9:48 to play. We're in the opening half at Morgantown. Vanterpool from the 9. Up in the air and down he goes at the 20. The ball is loose, but it belongs to the Mountaineers. Vanterpool could not hang on as they really upended him around the 20. Yeah, Russell on that kick team.
You know, you hope you can generate something with the kicking game, but boy, Russell, I mean, he skies on it. Pretty good hit, and it's a trailer hit. The ball gets loose, and they're a little lucky on that one.
From the 20 for the Mountaineers, there's Vanterpool, number 26, a redshirt sophomore from New York. Johnson 6 of 11 thus far for 36 yards.
We'll cut it. They're going to have to try to get a big one in this.
Play action. Down the middle, bobbled, and intercepted. That's Malcolm Pearson with his 3rd interception of the year. The second time an interception set up by a pass that wasn't caught.
Boy, Malcolm X Pearson on this one. And you can't blame the quarterback. I mean, the quarterback's job is to get the ball in the range so that the receiver can make a play. At that point, you got to do it. You got to come up and deliver. Good pass pro. No Warren Sapp, no Riley. Ball is there. Got to catch it. Then you tip it. Then Malcolm X comes through. He makes the grab. Kane's back on the field.
Leading 18-0, and there is Pearson. Miami will have it at the 37-yard line of the Mountaineers.
See what Collins does.
Reverse to Jones. He slips. West Virginia fans thought he was down back at the 43-yard line, and we'll see what the officials do. Thomas making the hit, but it looked to me also like he slipped that time and may have gone down.
Puppy Wright played that pretty well from a linebacker standpoint. You have to expect maybe you're going to get a little razzle-dazzle coming off a big play.
They are going to say he was down, but we have a flag down as well in the vicinity of the 38-yard line. We'll let our officiating crew sort that out with 9:20 to play. Ryan Collins.
Offside on the defense. 5 yards. Replay, first down.
Now that wipes out a loss and turns it into a 5-yard pickup.
Here we see, that's clear. He's down. Still the pursuit is there. There's enough blue jerseys there that they weren't faked out by.
And we were told that Ryan Collins would play in the second quarter. He's in there. Collins quarterbacking at 1st and 5 at the 32-yard line. Play action fake. The throw is short. Run out of bounds. About near the first down marker. Trent Jones. He's got plenty for the first down. Here's Collins. He came on to start at the end of last year. Of course, when you're not playing, you're not happy, and he's not happy.
No, you're not, but I mean, they want to win. I think he's accepted this by them increasing his role. Big move for him to come up and have the big play against the Seminoles, and now it just gives the defensive coordinators nightmares. You have to deal with 2 completely different quarterback types.
Exactly right. Ball's at the 21-yard line. 1st and 10 after the pass completion. This is Jones trying to get outside at the 20. Leans forward to maybe inside the 20. And once again, it's J.T. Thomas, the leading tackler, to make the hit. Gain of just 1, 2nd and 9.
You know, really, you take away the big plays, which you can't do on the score, but this front 7 has played pretty well. I mean, they have not been dominated in no respect, with the exception maybe some short yardage situations, but the secondary is going to have to come through. Somebody now has got to strip. You need a fumble, a tip, something to work. Good fortune for the Mountaineer defense.
A.C. Tellison is in the ball game on this series, but wide to the right. And now Ryan Collins decides he sees something he either didn't like or didn't understand and calls timeout. So we will take a break. 8:12 to play in the half with Miami 18, West Virginia 0. Back after these messages.
Again, tough guy. I think it happens absolutely. He comes in, gets the hit, then you see him drop off, and he still lays on the ground. Sometimes you get a stinger right on contact, and that thing will run all the way down your arm, down your back. I mean, it will scare the dickens out of you, but usually players are able, once they get a little ice on you, you can come back.
They have no fewer than 11. Now make it 12 players on the defensive side for West Virginia with various bumps and bruises. Second down and 9. Ball is at the 20-yard line. Play action fake. Looking for Tellison. He's not open. Collins throws toward the end zone, incomplete. He threw that one away. He did have A.C. Tellison down there, but there was good coverage defensively. The pressure up front coming from Hawkins and Curtis.
Yeah, Hawkins, Perkins, these guys have, and Curtis have been real active. That time Curtis kind of gets beat. He spins out to keep it square and then continues to pursue.
There you saw the speed of Ryan Collins. Trying to put touchdown number 4 on the board for the Hurricanes. A 3 wide receiver formation. Larry Jones, the only setback. Third down, 9 from the 20. Over the middle, that one is intercepted, but a flag is down. Van Washington made the interception at the 5. Let's wait and see what the call is.
I think they're going to get Emmanuel on that. I think he was locked up with one of the Cane receivers. You might get a defensive holding.
Charles Emmanuel playing for the injured David Mayfield. The flag was thrown right at the 10-yard line. The interception at the 5, and it's going to be nullified. They can't catch or break, can they?
That was it. That's the one we were talking about.
There's Charles Emmanuel. He's also from the state of Florida, Indiantown, Florida.
Pass interference on the defense. Be a spot foul. First down.
That changes everything. It really does. Emmanuel, you'll see him. He's up as a trailer, and there he is, a little contact. Little contact on Harris.
It's right at the 10-yard line. It'll be first down. Everything has gone wrong for West Virginia. 7:57 remaining in the opening half in Morgantown. Jones for about a yard. That is all.
JT was all over that one. Yeah, he was all over that.
Barry Hawkins as well, number 99, in on that play.
Now as a defense, you just hope that let's limit this to 3 guys. Just hang in, not give them the score, and just hope that our offense can come alive.
Duke with the early lead over Wake Forest. First quarter score on our Ford scoreboard. Virginia Tech out in front of the Panthers of the University of Pittsburgh. And Florida State by 2 touchdowns now over Clemson. 2nd and 9 here at Mountaineer Field for the Hurricanes of Miami, ranked number 7. Jones at the 5, touchdown. Larry Jones bursting into the end zone, his 2nd rushing touchdown of the year. It comes at 7:08, and it's 24-0.
Sometimes you just gamble wrong. Tafoni 3 to your left of your screen. They're on a dog. They go on the opposite side. That time Puppy Wright didn't have a chance going up against Ricky Perry, who's a monster. He engulfs him. Bottom line, Jones scores for the Canes.
And Pruitt is going to come on to attempt to kick the extra point. Jones, 9-yard run, 4th Miami touchdown. This kick is up, and this kick is good. 25-0 with 7:08 to play. The Canes have capitalized on a couple of interceptions. They've had a couple of big strikes. They've got a 25-0 lead.
Yeah, but see, you can never negate the fact that they had an interception and it was called back because of penalty. Pretty good idea, Steve Dunlap, the defensive coordinator, to go for it, have a run through, but they just guessed wrong.
Around the WNJR College Football Scoreboard.
Don Nehlen's club having all kinds of problems
Nothing in the second quarter.
here in the first half. And he talked all week about looking forward to the challenge that Erickson and the Canes present. He said, we're going to come and we're going to play hard. But they've made some mistakes, and they just have not been able to get anything going consistently offensively.
Well, you know, in most cases, Miami is not going to give it away. You know, you're going to have to make some catches. They've had 2 drops that have hurt them real bad because of 1 tip and 2 tips have resulted in interceptions, which the Canes have gone down and scored with. Larry Holton, the running back coach, a good guy. You know, he's a little bewildered because his star pupil, Robert Walker, has not been able to break one.
37 yards, 2 minutes, 27 seconds later. Jones into the end zone from the 9. 25-0. Pruitt's kick. Vanderpool will take it from about the 3-yard line. Got across the 20 to the 22, and again, Quan Russell on the kick team. He's all over the place.
Guy likes to play football.
I think so.
A lot of those defensive players, hey, they'll volunteer for special teams. They just want to go out and get a free hit.
Pearson's interception set up that last touchdown. Russell comes off. The ball is spotted at the 21-yard line. With 7:03 remaining in the half, it has turned out weather-wise to be a beautiful day here in West Virginia. Football-wise, not so much fun to the ears. What a difference a year makes. They lost 27 seniors off that undefeated regular season team. This is Gary high-stepping for a couple near the 23. Corwin Francis, the senior from LaPorte, Texas, made the tackle. Spotted at the 24, gain of 3. 2nd down and 6. And I think if you're West Virginia, you still have to go with what you planned to do when you came into the game. You can't throw that all out right now.
Not a bad dive move for them at all. I mean, they got more on that play than they had in the past.
2nd down and 8. That's Freeman in motion. Johnston guns it over the middle. The catch is made by the tight end Purnell, and Purnell is all the way out to the 40-yard line before Earl Little makes the tackle. Earl Little, quite a story. Originally attended Michigan. Had some illness in the family, came back to Florida. Remember, he is from North Miami, Florida. And he decided to stay and go to school there instead of going back to Michigan.
Oh, either way, I mean, you don't lose on that. Here you watch Purnell. Real nice little spin move. He's drifting. You don't like to see that. The ball is right on target. One thing about it, Chad has been hot so far. They just got to catch him.
1st and 10 from the 40. Fake the inside handoff. The throw to Vanderpool is off his fingertips. Right in front of Rohan Marley. Tried to turn out to the outside, but Rashawn Vanderpool could not hang on. Exactly 6 minutes to play in the opening half. Along with Rick Walker, I'm John Sanders. You're watching Big East football from Morgantown.
That would have been tough. But Vanderpool has the skills to make those kind of plays. And when you're trailing, you're down 25 to zip. You know, you have to dig down, and somebody's got to come up and make an exceptional play.
Tony Minifield comes out of the lineup. Jimmy Gary, number 21, is back in. Good look at Calvin Edwards. All 305 pounds of him.
He fills up the screen.
He certainly does. Play action for Johnston. Looks right, throws right. Right at the 50-yard line. I think maybe just a hair short. Zach Abraham makes the catch. 3rd down and a yard.
See, you can get a play action now. We go back to that 1st down when they had about 3 yards on the gain to dive inside. At least you get the respect. But as a wide receiver, you want Abraham, you want him to get the distance. You never want to come up short of a yard.
He is a yard short. That may be tougher than if it was 3rd and 5.
Absolutely.
Minifield comes left. Jim Freeman in that backfield. There's movement on the right side. I think Pete Tirado might have shifted a little bit from that right guard position.
On the offense.
Makes it 3rd down and 6. The football is backed up to the 44.
2nd time they've had that down the offensive line. And you might think, well, what happens? You get in the huddle, quarterback says on two, and usually a guy will ask a question. Anything can go, and if you just cut your brain off for 1 second, you miss it, and you cost your club.
We saw a shot of Click there, but I think it was Torado.
Yeah, it was. It was
the
Pete.
Guard, not the tackle that moved.
Pete jumped on it.
Less than 5 minutes remaining in the half. 3rd down and 6 now for the Mountaineers. There's that play action. Johnston throwing. It's intercepted. Was he in bounds?
No, he's out.
He's out of bounds. Malcolm Pearson trying for his 2nd interception of the afternoon, but he was out of bounds.
Remember that 3rd one? You see what happens?
That's exactly
so
right.
So if Abraham comes down, and you know, Zach's an excellent receiver, but if he has the presence of mind to get to the marker, they're in 1st and 10. You know, it's just a little thing, but when you're trailing 25-zip, you got to do the little things.
You need to keep your defense off the field for a while. Sauerbrun's kick, fair catch called for at the 14-yard line by Jamie German. He puts it away with 4 minutes and 39 seconds remaining in the opening half. Todd not too happy with his punting so far this afternoon. There is the afternoon is probably over for David Mayfield from right here in Morgantown. You saw him put the pop in.
Yeah, he has a stinger. You'd be surprised. You ice it down and they get into halftime. You may be able to come back and stretch a little bit, and it wouldn't surprise me to see him back. He may hit you with the other shoulder, but I mean, I think you have a chance to come
Might be a good idea. 25-0 is the score, and Frank Costa is back in there at quarterback. Fakes the handoff, and he's going to be sacked back at the 5-yard line by Canute Curtis. Curtis with his 3rd sack of the year.
He was Mr. Everything last week against Pitt. He was the player of the week for the Mountaineers. I mean, just comes in real active, gets rid of the block, closes, and finishes off well.
The loss of about 6 on the play. It is 2nd and 16 for Frank Costa and the Hurricanes.
It's tough on an offense when you're up 25-zip. You know, those kids are human. You get a little lax, and this is where the Mountaineers could possibly come up and make a play.
They desperately need a big play. Ferguson across the 10, out to near the 13. Puppy Wright, number 4 defensively there for the Mountaineers.
That's Tafoni, the captain, Puppy Wright, Curtis, Perkins, Hawkins, Thomas, these guys, Browning. They have a very good front 7. They've had some injuries in the secondary, but these guys are courageous. They play hard, but you can't win unless you have guys making plays for you and getting the ball back, especially trailing.
3rd down and 11. The Hurricanes with 3 receivers in the formation go from the shotgun. Costa sets, looks, throws. A one-handed attempt that time by Chris T. Jones. It's incomplete. 4th down, and West Virginia should get good field position.
Remember that one-hand grab he made?
Yes.
Against Florida State? Right. I bet he was probably thinking, hey, I can do that every play. Doesn't work that way. That's a good stand for the Mountaineers.
We want you to stay with us at halftime as we will talk about what happened last week, show you some highlights from around the Big East, and also put together some mid-season highlights. There were so many highlights from the Pitt-West Virginia game, we couldn't do it in one segment. It would take too long. Vanderpool at the 40. We have a flag down. I think they might have roughed the kicker. He dances out of bounds at the 45-yard line, but that flag is all the way back where the punt came off the foot of Mike Chrissy. And it is against West Virginia. They're just self-destructing here.
Mountaineers, they need halftime to hurry up. There you see, and you are coached. The aiming point is to go right off the foot where the ball will be.
Roughing the kicker on the defense, 15 yards, automatic 1st down.
But what happens is that, you know, you're so pumped up and you want to make a play to help your team, and you're trailing, and you know, you lose a little composure. Tom said, hey man, we're at home. What's up? What's the deal?
The football will come out to the 28-yard line, whether Don likes it or not. 2:57 to play in the half. The problems continue. West Virginia, and this is about the opposite of what you would normally expect.
Right, especially with Miami. Again, 8, 9, 10 penalties. per game, and
well, they still may have that many by the time we're finished.
But if the score is 100-0, it won't matter.
Exactly,
you know what I mean?
right.
Won't matter at all.
It's a good point. 28-yard line, 1st and 10. 25-0. Miami leading, and remember, they've not allowed a point on the road this year. Costa is still the quarterback. We work out of the one-back offense. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Jones on a fly pattern. Great catch at the point. He lost it. Just could not quite hang on. Harold Kidd was with him stride for stride. And Chris T. Jones now down at the 15-yard line in some pain. He almost made a terrific catch.
Well, you're in a little pain because you're upset because you missed it. It hurts more when you don't hold on. Here he extends out for a great extension. The knee hits the turf. Oh, yeah, on the hill. He lost that at the end.
He did not have it as he hit the ground.
Turf is hard.
Had he caught it, he would just jump right back up.
Oh, yeah, you're still in pain, but you jump up so they can read your stats and the career catches and the whole bit. And you bite your tongue and you get in the huddle. Yeah, I think he'll be okay. Boy, he's upset.
Doggone it. So
it's
close.
A tough pass, too, John, because the ball was thrown inside. On an up route, you'd like to have it over your outside shoulder. Then you can actually maintain a pretty good speed.
2nd down, 10. 5 receivers in this pattern. Throwing short in the flat. 1st down, picked up by the Hurricanes. That was Al Shipman from West Palm Beach. Number 32 made the catch out at the 42-yard line. A gain of 14. Again, Harold Kidd on the coverage, and Harold is getting a workout this afternoon.
Indeed. Kidd's the fastest player on the Mountaineer team, and they're going right at him. If you can beat the best, I mean, that is demoralizing in itself.
Costa with 2 long touchdown passes in the first half. We saw Ryan Collins for 1 series. 42, it's 1st and 10. They continue with this 5 receiver formation. At the 50, Tellison spins around. He's got a 1st down in the arms of J.T. Thomas. And they're starting to show the full arsenal now offensively.
Well, they work you down, and if they can just hold on to the football, keep the West Virginia offense off the field, they can get another score right now before half. Boy, they're just tickled to death.
There you see Rutgers, Boston College. They are already at the half. Florida State leading Clemson by 2 touchdowns. South Carolina over Vanderbilt. That one is just in the 1st quarter. And Ohio State against Purdue, up by 14. Virginia Tech still that 1 touchdown lead over the Panthers of Pitt. Here it's 25-0. Canes with the lead and the football. It's incomplete. That one was dropped. Again, it was Shipman over there on the far side, hitting right in the chest. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Charles Emmanuel defending.
We've had a few drops today, really have. It's a nice heat on the pass by Costa. That ball goes, you used to call it the old breadbasket. And you'd never let it touch the chest because the pads, there's a padding in it like a fiberglass. And hits that ball, is out.
I know, he looked around like, what happened to the football?
How could this happen to me? Catch it with the hand.
Stay with this 5 receiver formation. Make sure you get enough guys on the line of scrimmage. That happened earlier. There's Curtis again, driving him down. Canute Curtis with his 2nd sack of the afternoon. You're going to spot it near the 45 of Miami.
Boy, it's demoralizing, but a defense you can never give up. Curtis once again, last week's player of the game. I mean, just powers through, nice bull rush, and he finishes well.
I'll tell you how banged up they are defensively. They've had to move Frank Browning, number 15, from offense to defense. We have a timeout down on the field with 1 minute and 56 seconds remaining to be played. There's Canute Curtis, and he has done all he can. I think the thing that happens, though, as you mentioned, they've been out there so much, they're just going to be worn out.
Go by the 4th quarter. And that's when it really starts to pay off against you. Those 300-pounders leaning on you and biting at you, and it gets you. But morale is important, and you never ever split a football team down the half. Those defensive guys just have to hope that the offensive players can get it going. Some days you have nothing works for you defensively, but you just never give up, and you hope that you can get a tip. And we'll talk a lot about this because turnovers, in my mind, are the only way West Virginia can get back in this game.
And of course, with a team like Miami that likes to put the ball in the air, they like to make big plays, there's the potential for that.
They'll continue to throw. I mean, there are a lot of teams up 25-zip at this point would be dive right, dive left, dive right, dive left. So you're going to have some chances.
Well, this is certainly a change for the Canes. Remember last year, Mayfield heading up toward the dressing room. See if he can get himself together for the second half. At the 45-yard line, it's third down, long yardage. They go from the gun. Costa looks right, throws, and Jones falls down. He slipped at about the 32 and went down. It'll bring up 4th and long.
Frank Costa's pass was intended for number 85.
Last year was no fun. We had a chance to ask Dennis Erickson about his memories of last season.
I call them more like nightmares, but I mean, it was an awful day here. We didn't play very well. They played well. You got to give them credit, and they won that football game, and it was kind of the beginning of the end for us, and we remember that. We've turned that film on many times the last 2 weeks, so you know, hopefully we can make up for it.
There's the kick. Chrissy with the punt. Vanderpool stays away from it, and it's going to be spotted outside the 20 near the 21-yard line. Way back at the 45, we had a lot of extra contact involving Frank Browning and the kicker, Chrissy.
See, Erickson, he didn't like that. He's like, hey, man, we're up 25-zip. Just play football. Think about it. Be smart. Let's get the win. We'll get on the bus. Yeah, I'll pass you a Gatorade if we pull this thing off.
We'll take the bus ride up to Pittsburgh, get on the plane, and go home.
Absolutely.
Get out of town. 25-0. The Canes are on top with 1 minute and 38 seconds remaining in the first half. The pace was pretty good at the beginning. This thing has kind of slowed down here the last part of the second quarter.
Well, you can credit the Mountaineer offense for that. The miscues.
Out of the I formation this time. Play action fake. Looking for Vanderpool. It's overthrown and out of bounds.
Chad Johnson's pass intended for Rajon Vanderpool.
It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 21-yard line.
You know, you don't have a lot of room, and I give C.J. Richardson a lot of credit, their free safety. He has great speed, and he has a real good feel for the game, and he gives that help. And there's only about a 5 or 10 yard cushion, but you got to have the ball right on the money. If not, I think he did the good thing, get it out of bounds. You do not want another interception.
And of course, both the interceptions have come on passes that could have been caught. They led to Miami touchdowns, part of a 25-0 lead. There's the inside handoff to Walker at the 25. Wrapped up by Richardson right around the ankles after he picks up about 5 near the 26-yard line.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. Pretty decent run for Walker. This used to be commonplace last year. We talked a little bit about the wide receivers. As you watch, Gerald Long comes up. He gets a block, get a little chip on it. I mean, not a lot. And there's our guy, C.J. Richardson, who comes up with a nice tackle. So we talk wide receivers. You can always tell the wide receivers that block. That means there's somebody, some underclassman standing right behind him, and the coaches are evaluating.
That is Gerald Long, and he is a true freshman. He's getting more and more playing time. The throw slips through the fingers and incomplete. Again, Purnell, the tight end, was the intended receiver. He stretched out for it. The big guy from Delaware could not hang on.
You know, defense is going, they have drills called tip drills. You do it every single day, and it looks like the Mountaineers want to make sure these guys, they pay off. I mean, that thing was close again.
It was. Could have been the 3rd tipped pass to be intercepted.
Purnell has good hands, too. You know, you can say, well, the ball ought to be down. Man, when you're trailing, no matter where the ball is, you have to get it.
German will field this one at the 27. Gets a block at the 35, and a flag as a result of that. Spun down at the 47, but this one will be marched back because of that hit. The flag will go against the Hurricanes. We're in the final 32 seconds of the opening half. Miami led 6-0 at the end of the first quarter, but they scored quickly on Ferguson's run with 13:43 to play in the half to make it 12-0. And Costa with his second long pass, a 54-yarder to Green. The first one had been a 52-yard pass play to Chris T. Jones, and he went to Green for 54. And Larry Jones scored the 4th touchdown.
On the defense, an illegal block in the back on the defense. We'll penalize the illegal block in the back 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
And the Ears will take the one that's most advantageous to them. Larry Jones with that 9-yard touchdown run coming with 7:08 left in the half. And they finally did convert on an extra point. Then it's 25-0. The illegal block came about the 35-yard line. So back to the 26.
Well, with 32 seconds to go, we've watched a couple of games go all the way back to the game we did with Rutgers, right before half. And you can get into a prevent. Miami can throw a little 5-yard out. They put it in the hands of Shipman and one of these guys, and boy, they can scare you. They'll take it the distance. So you really have to be smart with 32 seconds to go.
They have Chad Wobble. There's the handoff, and Shipman up the middle. Straightened up as he gets to the 30-yard line and dropped. Pick up about 3 on the play before the ears bring him down. Check some scores as we get ready for halftime. Duke laying it on Wake, 27-0. SMU and Texas, 7-0. How about that win by Rice? Was that something? Virginia Tech still leading the Panthers. Ohio State 21 now to 0 over Purdue. Florida State has reached the half, up by 2 touchdowns on Clemson. Rutgers and Boston College scoreless in the first half. Does that surprise you?
Man, somewhat. When you have big games within the division, it doesn't startle me because teams, you get a good feel for your opponent. Boston College with Hartzell at quarterback. If Lucas is back for Rutgers and if he's 100%, no, not at all. It's a lot of offense, but some pretty good defensive teams as well.
Costa still has 22 seconds remaining in this half. Close look at Jonathan Harris out of Houston, Texas. Costa now has had his final conversation with the bench. And we'll put the football in play for the final 22. Mountaineer defense has been on the field a lot in this first half. The offense has not put much together of a sustained variety.
And believe it or not, it really hasn't been the Cane defense as much as it's been their own mistakes.
That's right. Kind of self-destructed here in the first half. Costa steps up in the pocket, hit as he throws, and it drops incomplete at about the 45-yard line. He had Barry Hawkins in his lap and took a pretty good hit that time with 15 seconds to play.
You got your starting quarterback in the game. You're up by a ton. He stepped in the boy. He wanted to get that one off. He stepped up in the pocket. He was ready to heave it. Frank's confidence is sky high. He's picking up some pretty good numbers, but Hawkins would have nothing of it.
From the 30, it'll be 3rd down. About 6. Casey Jones, the center, turning back to check that snap count with Frank Costa. And there was movement on the left side. It looked to me like Ricky Perry lifted up over there.
The offense.
Take a look. Yep. Yeah, he's up. Well, when you got Perkins, who's been having a pretty good day as an outside speed rusher, and we've had this now 4 times in the game. Some miscues just on snap count.
Right. You wonder how it happens at midseason.
It happens on every level. You'll see it tomorrow on Sundays. You'll see
exactly right. 25-0. The Canes are leading the Mountaineers here in Morgantown. 3rd and about 10. They decide to go to Shipman on the inside handoff, but he's still running all the way to the 35. He'll be short of a first down. Charles Emmanuel coming up to make the tackle, and still 7 ticks of the clock remaining in the opening half. And a timeout has been called. West Virginia takes the timeout. A pickup of about 10 on the play, but still a yard short of the first.
They get him down, but it's still a little scary. I mean, this guy, he's slithering through. He should have gone down. Breaks that tackle. There's some arm tackles. And it's the one thing as we talked about. You get the Canes in your sights. You got to get them down.
4th and 1 with 6 seconds to go. We remind you to stick with us at halftime. We have plenty of activity from Morgantown. The ears will try to regroup.
That could hurt him, boy.
If
Hawkins is down.
Yeah. Hawkins is hurt. See if he can shake it off. There was a little bit of delay by West Virginia. They wanted to make sure that the kicking team was going to come out for Miami.
And let's find out what happened. Here's Hawkins towards the end. See, sometimes you get your own guys coming in to top off the tackle, and you get a straight collision, and you're not expecting it. And those hurt more than anything.
Vanterpool is deep, standing at about the 24. Pretty good pressure and a good kick. Backs him up to the 19-yard line. He made the fair catch there. And that is it. That punt is the final play of the opening half. A half that's been dominated by the Hurricanes of Miami. The 7th-ranked team in the nation, flexing their muscle just a little bit to lead at halftime. That is the end of the first half of play. It's Miami 25, West Virginia 0. We'll be back with our halftime activities after these words from your local stations.
It's 247 total yards to just 66 for West Virginia.
Well, the one that stands out to me is 5 yards rushing. He had 5 yards on the ground, will kill you. 2 turnovers, and you're going up against a team that has so much talent on the offensive side. Really doesn't put you in a position to be successful. But if you're in at halftime, I'm sure Don Nealon told his group, hey, guys, let's just settle down, come back out, and see if we can make some things happen. 0 for 6 on third down conversion. That stinks. And then we talked a little bit about the tips and the things that really went to the Hurricanes' advantage. We'll show you exactly what we're talking about. Here's Jay Johnson. He throws, and this ball is there. I mean, it's a tough catch, but it is catchable, you know, for a great receiver. That gets off. I think we got Malcolm. That's right. We got Malcolm
Pearson.
X on that. Malcolm Pearson on that. He gets the interception. Canes get a chance to come around. Then the bomb. Watch Chris G. Jones. He's waiting on this. This was an out and up. It really was a well-executed play for a score, and he finishes well with that. Costa's been launching the ball off in a big-time fashion, and he wants more. Here he'll go out to his freshman Green. Green, a redshirt freshman with terrific speed. Here he'll show you some athletic ability. Watch him go up right there. He goes up, makes the grab, keeps his feet, and scores. That was just a few moments for the Canes, some highlights.
Yatil Green, the young man from Florida, with that terrific touchdown catch. Here is the quarterback comparison in the first half. You see that Collins did play briefly. Costa 9 of 16, 193 yards, both long touchdowns. The average length of his touchdown passes on the year is over 40 yards per touchdown pass. And there have been 10 touchdown passes. The ones today of 52 and 54 yards. For Johnston, 8 of 18, 61 yards. He did have the 2 interceptions. But in his defense, you look at those 2 interceptions. We saw one of them. The other one was also a deflected pass.
You're talking about average and ordinary receivers. I really wouldn't make a big thing out of it, but when you look at Vanderpool and Purnell, who's their second leading receiver, these guys can play. They've got great hands, and a couple of times you know, Johnson was a little off with it, but man, you got to make big catches if you hope to beat teams that are ranked and play as well as the Canes do.
Around the rest of the country, third quarter now, Florida State still by 2 touchdowns, 14-0 over Clemson on our Ford scoreboard. It's South Carolina leading Vandy 16-0. Those 2 teams are at the half, as we are here at Mountaineer Field. 35-0. Ohio State laying a licking on Purdue in the second quarter. Looking ahead to their battle with Penn State next week for the Buckeyes. Virginia Tech now up 17-0. They put some points on the board in the second quarter, leading 17-0. It was 7-0 for a while, but now Tech has opened it up. SMU and Texas locked up 7-7. The 13th-ranked Longhorns trying to come back after that shocking loss last week to Rice. Duke 27, Wake Forest 6 from the ACC.
Duke's on a big league roll.
Miami has been rolling, leading 25-0 here in Morgantown at the half. The beautiful blue skies have kind of gone away. It's turning gray, a little bit cooler. Nothing like last year, and certainly through the first half of play for Coach Erickson, a much happier visit to Morgantown, West Virginia. He actually stayed in Fairmont, West Virginia, 25 minutes away, and made the bus ride up. He'll head immediately back to Pittsburgh Airport and back to Miami tonight. Miami looking ahead to nothing but Big East games the rest of the way. They'll be home to Virginia Tech on October the 22nd. It is homecoming here in Morgantown next week. Louisiana Tech is in town. There's Don Nealon. A rocky first half, but West Virginia will get the football to start the second half of play. Vanterpool will be deep to receive the kick, along with Jimmy Gary. Pruitt to kick off. We're ready to start the third quarter of Big East football here in Morgantown. Vanterpool backpedals to the goal line. And he will not, dumps away from the tackle. Now he's moving at the 30, lowers his head, and all the way out to the 33-yard line for Vanterpool. Looked like he was stopped at the 15. It was Barnes and Little on the kick team making the tackle.
Well, the good ones have terrific balance. He's shown that he has the ability to break the big play once again. The wedge kind of fails him on this. See, an average back is down. He keeps his feet, constantly going upfield. Then you get some of your pals chipping in for you, and you get a more than decent return.
33-yard line, a 33-yard return. Freeman is in motion. This is Walker. At the 35, a burst of speed carries him to the 40. Ray Lewis wrestles him down just across the 40-yard line to the 41. That is a gain of 8 on first down.
Man, can you imagine this? Mountaineers come out and get the edge. Purnell, tight end. Well, if you get a tight end that can hook on the line of scrimmage and give you that edge, then you see Zach downfield, wide receiver trying to get a block, and that's probably the best offensive run of the day.
I think so. You look back to last year, he had a 90-yard touchdown run, did Walker. His longest this year is 33. He's only had one 100-yard game this year. That's a first down at the 45.
Oh, man. That's another good run. CJ.
But we have a flag down. He got it out to the 44-yard line.
See, Robert now starting to get that forward lean, gets into the pile. Hey, he moves the pile. And here comes CJ. He knocks it back. He stumbles, spins around. That was a good football play.
On the defense.
The Canes are offside.
First down.
It'll be a first down for West Virginia. The football spotted at the 45-yard line.
How did you see an offensive lineman, Buddy Hager? He's in the way, and Robert Walker just runs right through him.
Chad Johnston from Peterstown, Pennsylvania, trying to get something started offensively for the Mountaineers. Of course, the Canes would like nothing better than to continue the shutout. That pass is caught at the 35, 25-yard line. The big tight end is pulled down. Purnell carries deep into Miami territory down to the 18-yard line before Richardson got him to the turf.
Well, Purnell, he owed the club one. He had a tip in the first half. He makes up with a good block, and he comes back. Good separation on the linebacker. That time, he's on the safety. On Pearson, he beats him and then rumbles downfield.
Deepest penetration this afternoon. 18-yard line. It's not the same team we saw in the first half.
What did Don Nealon say at halftime?
Third catch this afternoon for Purnell. Walker will lose a yard, maybe 2. That's Warren Sapp, and we have not called his name too much today, but he makes the big play there. Sapp with a hit. Another tackle for loss for Warren Sapp.
Well, Lang was in there as well, and you have mentioned that. We've done Miami games in the past, and you feel like he's a quarterback. You're mentioning his name as much as you do quarterbacks. In this game, let's give Rob Sock a little credit. Edwards, Long, these guys have been fighting their guts out.
2 minutes into the third quarter. Play action, and down he goes at the 30. That is Kennard Lang, number 96. Another sack. He came in with 5.5 sacks. He picks up his first this afternoon, all the way back to the 30.
Sooner or later, we say enough bad things about him, although this is a no-brainer. He's a free run, unblocked. You got to get a hat on him.
The sack for the loss of 10 brings it all the way back to the 30 now. 25-0. Miami leading. The Mountaineers get to the 18, and just like that, they're back at the 30. There's third and about 22. Johnston sets, looks, throws for the end zone. That one almost intercepted by Malcolm Pearson. He was the closest to it, intended for Zach Abraham. It'll be fourth down.
Yeah, Pearson was close here. Chad said, hey, he broke it off. He broke it off a little too quick. Pass pro. Very good. I mean, he has ample time. And with that kind of time, you know, he's saying he's cut it off flat, too flat. He wanted him to go a little more towards the cone.
And on 4th down by 25, the Mountaineers really don't have any choice. 3 points won't do you much good if you could kick it that far. Out of the shotgun. 3 receivers in the formation. Minifield, Abraham, and Vanderpool. Down the middle. Right at the 15-yard line. Richardson makes the hit on Vanderpool. He'll get inside the 15. But it's not enough for the first down, and they will turn it over. The Hurricanes will start deep in their own territory at the 15.
Well, once again, I'm impressed with the offensive line. He has some time. He steps up. Good connection. All for naught because they have penalized him, and they hurt themselves once again.
11:55 remaining to be played here in the 3rd quarter, and it's 25-0 Miami over West Virginia. Back after these messages. The second half of today's Big East football telecast is brought to you by Motorola Pagers for the messages you can't afford to miss. And by Molson Ice from Canada, the land where ice was born.
It could only come from here. Canada, the home of ice. Molson Ice. Ice brewed by North America's oldest brewery to be colder and bolder. Yet smooth as ice. Molson Ice. From the land where ice was born.
This new strategy is going to position your company as a leader in the poultry industry. Get here ASAP.
With the new Memo Express pager from Motorola, you receive actual text messages instantly.
Look, you're on track. Unlike those clowns yesterday who brought in some guy in a chicken suit. Chicken suit.
Excuse me. Lose the chicken.
Introducing the Memo Express pager from Motorola for the messages you can't afford to miss.
From a bright autumn afternoon, it has turned gray here in Morgantown, West Virginia. 25-0 Miami with a lead. Kind of a gray finish to what looked like a good start to the second half.
Well, that's the way to come out of the locker room, exploding on offense. Unfortunately, they have nothing to show for it.
Not as far as the 18, now as far as the 15, but it wasn't enough for the first down. Hurricanes will have it. That's Harris in motion. Jones tackled for a loss. Barry Hawkins has had himself quite a game.
And it's good for Hawk, too, because as you recall, Hawk went to the sidelines right before the end of the second quarter, and it was probably just a stinger, but boy, he's back. He beats the block. It's a big guy, 300-pounder with real good range.
A loss of 2 on that play. Back to the 13. Second down and 12. They bring German to the right. Jones split out left, along with Harris. Lone setback is Larry Jones. Play action. Looking for German. He's got it across the 25, but drops it. They rule it incomplete.
And once again, Mountaineers get close,
but no luck.
Can't get it.
They have not been able to catch a break. Goes as an incomplete pass, brings up 3rd down and 12 from the 13-yard line. 11 minutes and 8 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter.
Frank steps back in the pocket, lets one rip. You know, the ball is there, got a little bit on the pads. Boy, good hit. It looks like Kidd comes down with a strip, knocked the ball away. This is good defense.
And Van Washington in there as well. Matt Tafoni, the linebacker, backpedaling, trying to get into the action. 3rd down, 12. 5-receiver formation. Costa pressured, rolls from it, throws it out of bounds. German the closest, but he wasn't really close, and Costa, feeling the pressure of John Browning, threw it away.
Now, this is twice now that the Mountaineer defense has been able to, keep them on their heels. That's not what Frank Costa wants to do. That offensive line gets pushed back just a little bit, and there's those blue shirts. Mountaineers coming at it. You continue to pursue. That's the difference right there. You finish it through. John Browning really is responsible for that.
5th punt for Chrissy. He's averaging 37.5 yards per kick. Vanderpool is deep. This is not a good kick. Off the side of his foot, gets a bit of a Miami bounce, but it's in Miami territory at the 45-yard line. With 10:52 to play, the Ears trying to get on the board here at home. We'll have more football coming up right here from Morgantown after these words from your local Big East station. On Miami's half of the field. See if they can make something happen. Their last possession, they got as close as the 15-yard line. Had a first down 10 at the 18. Walker in the flat and out of bounds. So that's going to lose about 3 yards.
There's that hot seat you referenced to. The Canes wanted to make sure that they were able to keep warm this trip.
That really hasn't been a problem.
No, it hasn't.
It's fitting that there's Blaze sitting on the hot seat.
Those are nice, too. You just don't want to have to sit there the whole game.
Boston College has broken through in the 3rd quarter to lead Rutgers in Big East action. Here it's 2nd down and 13. Here comes Walker. Twisting away from a tackler at the 40. He gets down to the 37-yard line. Lewis making the hit.
And we take a ground view of this. You watch it draw. This is all set up to counter the quickness of Warren Sapp. See, Sapp is upfield. They play on that. Nice hurdle. That's Richardson. He doesn't miss many. And there they are. They're everywhere. I mean, one guy, you make him miss. 2 other white shirts right on the scene.
3rd and short.
Uh-oh.
3rd and anything has not been good for the Mountaineers, and it happens again. All over him was Ray Lewis. He would not let him go. He got help from James Burgess. Numbers 52 and 54 team up. It is a loss.
The key to their success, one, I mean, they're well coached, but these kids play well. They close those gaps. The shoulders are square. They force you to bet. If you got to bounce out against the Miami Hurricanes, forget it. It doesn't work. You're better off getting a shotgun and throwing a Hail Mary.
Well, they're just too quick. Sauerbrunn to punt. And try to angle this one, pooch it toward the corner. And see how he does. Pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Out at the 4. No boomer that time, but at the 4-yard line, Miami will have it. They were 3 and out. First time they had the ball. The Canes this time will start deep in their own end of the field with 9:51 remaining to be played.
Be real honest with you. Yeah. Get a few scores in.
All right. Ohio State 38-0 over Purdue. That's not pretty. Virginia Tech leading the Panthers of Pitt 24-0. Still in the 2nd quarter. Texas has taken the lead over SMU 14-7. Texas A&M leading Rice 7-0. From the 4. We have movement all over the place. Terrell Green, the redshirt senior, the one representative from this part of the country on this Miami team. As a matter of fact, he was the captain here. He's from Pittsburgh. In his 5th year. This is his final year, and I'm sure he brought a few folks down from just north of Morgantown.
I don't know. I mean, we used to play the Eagles. I would never have relatives go to Philadelphia. We played the Eagles. There's some places you don't bring your kinfolk, especially wearing hurricane, jackets and hats.
Disguise yourself. From the 2, it's 1st and 12 as they penalized them half the distance.
They got it. This might be T-back.
I don't know. Puppy Wright pushed him back into the end zone. They're going to spot him down at the 1. The fans here wanted a safety, but it's not going to happen. But Puppy was not going to let Larry Jones do anything. Yes, it was.
This is awful close. Here, you watch this. Boy, Perkins, point of attack, fights off the blockers. Puppy comes up. This is nice, and at this point, it's judgment.
It was Stephen Perkins on the bottom of that. He was dancing with danger right along the goal line.
Oh, that's nice, though. I'd like to see him come up and keep those pads square and converge. It's good defense.
2nd down and 13 and from the 1. Costa. Miami trying to dig itself out of its own end, and he will call timeout. Exactly 9 minutes remaining to be played in the 3rd quarter. With the score Miami 25, West Virginia 0. We'll be back after these messages.
There he's clearly in the end zone. He comes across. He's on the one. He's stopped up. You see Riddle come in. At this point, feet are still moving. He's going backwards. Now, at what point do you think he's tackled? I think he's tackled there. And if so, touchback.
Well, had it not been for the fact that he was on the goal line, they might very well have spotted the ball there.
Yeah, that's a good point. Good point. Not that it matters a whole lot at this point, but momentum's everything, and the Mountaineers are really showing they're very competitive on the defensive side so far.
And they're giving the fans here, the faithful who remain, something to cheer about. At the direction, of course, of the scoreboard. 2nd and 13. Costa passing out of his own end zone. The pump fake, throwing deep. Is he inbounds to the interception?
He is.
West Virginia will have the football. Picking it off was Aaron Beasley. He leads the nation. That is interception number 8. And Costa with a pump fake, but he really threw that one up for grabs.
He did. They got pressure on him, number 1. Number 2, not a big difference from that or a punt. You can see he's under a little distress. He gets the ball out. They were hoping to get a free run on the punt. They don't. Boy, Aaron, good speed. Aaron follows that real well. As a receiver, you would try like to break it up. Christie's trying, boy, to catch that and have the presence of mind to get a foot in. That's good operation.
Number 8 for Aaron Beasley. That's a career for most players, and then some. Johnston guns it. It's caught. Abraham inside the 30 to 25. Down to the 24-yard line before he's driven back by C.J. Richardson. It is a first down for the Mountaineers.
Warren Sapp, believe it or not, he's in on that tackle. I mean, this guy is unreal. You know, he's there on the bottom of your screen. He goes up and tries to bat the ball down. Abraham, he gets some movement. Watch 76 on your screen. He's chasing the wide receiver down and gets in at the end trying to slap the ball away. Is this guy an All-American or what?
He certainly is.
They're up 25-zip, and that's the pride with the Hurricane defense. And they're shooting for the goose egg.
They want that third road shutout.
Absolutely. They want a shutout. They want total humiliation on the defensive side, and it takes that kind of effort when you're up. Forget the score. The great ones, I mean, they're constantly going for all the awards you can get, and that was a super effort.
The discussion continues down on the field. It appears the penalty is going to go against West Virginia. Marley and Sapp are listening to the conversation between the officials. We'll get it all straightened out for you.
Dead ball, personal foul, late hit by the offense. They gave the gain to, they made the line to gain. It'll be first down and 10 yards to go.
The football, though, is back at the 39-yard line instead of the 27.
Boy, that's tough. You see Doc Holliday, the receiver coach, right there on your screen next to Don, and he's shaking his head. Tough guy, old linebacker here with the Mountaineers, coaching the wide outs. That's one reason they're so tough on the edges.
Barber in motion. Some reverse action. But the Canes aren't buying.
Well, you know, I tell you what, I'd like to go back and get some footage of games played over the last 10 years against Miami that a reverse has worked. That anything like that against this group has been successful.
The reaction from the fans, they wanted a penalty call for the action on the sidelines. Vanterpool was being pursued, almost a block in the back, and you see Carlos Jones wrestles him out of bounds and then gets some extra help from Lewis.
Yeah, Lewis comes in, drops the right. The Ellis watches this be a good shot. He's out of bounds and it's there. Not close. That's a judgment hit.
Second down, 16 from the 45. Johnston out of the shotgun. Feels pressure, rolls. Sapp is chasing at midfield. He throws this one deep. Jones is there to pick it off. Jones picked it off. It was Sapp with the pressure chasing him down. Minifield was the intended receiver, but this one was in the air a long time, so Jones able to come up with his second interception of the afternoon, his fourth of the year.
Warren Sapp, what a man. if you know, pro scouts have watched this as they evaluate him, those that have to. I mean, you watch him, he's everywhere. He finishes this off, and this forces the interception. And we basically just had the exchange of what would have been 2 punts. I mean, John, let's be serious about it.
That's an honest explanation of it.
But this young man here, he's relentless. He's just saying, forget all about it. Don't even waste your time, Mountaineers.
Well, in the first half, the Canes started at the 35 on the average. Here, they've been starting at an average of the 8-yard line. Ferguson for about a yard to the 5. Wrestled down by Van Washington and company. It'll be 2nd and 9.
This is where you want to be. I mean, it's the side of the ball you want to be on if you're West Virginia. You could just keep him down.
We have to be proud of another strong performance by the defensive unit. From the Big East, Rutgers and Boston College. The Scarlet Knights coming back to tie that one, but Tech having its way with Pitt. 2nd and 9 from the 5. Play action fake to Ferguson. They look to German. He falls down and cannot catch it. Tried to turn out. Charles Emmanuel coming up defensively, but German had already slipped down, and that left him no opportunity to make the catch. 3rd down.
Real nice route working for him. He gets out, breaks it. This is the 3rd time now we've seen a little slip. He's testing the field yesterday, and some tennis shoes, a fast track. It really is. It's pretty hard, and if you don't have a little more of a spike on your cleat, I can see you go down.
If he makes a good cut there and stays on his feet, that most likely is a reception. 25-0, Miami leading. Shotgun 5 receiver formation. On 3rd and 9. Costa hit as he tried to throw. The ball was batted away. Jamie German the closest to it. It falls incomplete, and once again West Virginia will get good field position. Thanks to John Browning, Stephen Perkins, and others. They were right there.
The Mountaineers are serving field position up on a silver platter. They just got to get somebody to answer the call. Boy, what a physical play. I mean, that's just a great effort on defense by John Browning.
Well, their drives in this half have started at the 15, the 4, and the 4.
Yeah, and it helps you. I mean, the offense is at a disadvantage in this, but
they run into the kicker. There's a flag. The football rolls dead at the 36. But Chrissy and Miami will get new life. Second time that penalty's been called this afternoon on West Virginia.
Rough to have it once, twice. I mean, really. No mistake. You might say, well, he's somewhat blocked into it. It all has to go with angles. You have to anticipate the aiming point.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker against the defense. 15 yards, 1st down.
And follow through properly. Don said, what do we have to do to get a break?
The football comes all the way out to the 20-yard line. There are days you want to forget. This might be one of them. It's 25-0. Twice in this game, West Virginia a chance to take possession, but they rough the kicker. Play action down the middle. The catch is made by the tight end Daphnis, and Daphnis has a 1st down as he breaks it near the 38. Van Washington made the tackle. Pick up on the play of about 19 yards.
Both clubs have had some success trying to throw between the hash marks to their tight ends, you know, which will happen when you have good people on the outside.
Well, you saw Purnell has made 3 catches for good yardage. They've gone to Daphnis a few times. At your suggestion, I might add.
By all means. Tight ends. Those tight ends in the game.
Here comes Ferguson trying to get outside. Curtis really doesn't let him turn the corner completely. He'll pick up just a yard to the 40. Pressured by Knute Curtis. 2nd down and 9. Runs out of bounds. Stops the clock with exactly 6.5 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter.
Interesting thing about Miami, you know, Hurricanes, James Stewart, who is home nursing a bad ankle. But I think if he's here today, they just start to pound the ball a little more. You know, when you got your big horse at home, you have to change. You're throwing the ball, they're up by 25-0, and I mean, they can get away with it, but most clubs can't.
From the 40, it's 2nd down and 9. And now we have another penalty called. It gives us a chance to remind you that as part of Molson's sponsorship of Big East football, we will be selecting the Molson Ice Player of the Game a little bit later this afternoon. The 5-yard penalty marched off against the Hurricanes. Comes back now to the 35-yard line. Becomes a 2nd down and 14. There is the penalty story. West Virginia just one more than Miami, but you know that their penalties have been much more costly.
Yeah, but see, Miami can make penalties because they make big plays. I mean, you know, they'll answer to them. West Virginia's a different story.
2 50-yard plus scoring passes in the first half. Dropped underneath. Could not hang on. That was Al Shipman, who sees most of his playing time in these passing situations. It'll be 3rd down and 14.
Both quarterbacks have been, sometimes been a little wide with the basic routes. That's 7-on-7. You're in practice, you drop back, you get the guy the ball, put the ball in the numbers, give a good, quick receiver a chance to catch the ball and turn it upfield.
The Hurricanes of Miami in control, trying to push their record to 5-1. This is the 8th game of the year already for the Mountaineers. German can't hang on. It drops incomplete.
Boy, was that close to a tip.
Charles Emmanuel picked it up, but it had hit the turf.
Now, if that's Miami, you know, they get that tip. That's what tends to happen. You know what I mean? Converge on the ball. Again, Costas throwing off the back foot. Bad pass, pretty good save. And, boy, that was the kind of thing. Had Emmanuel been able to get to that football, would have been good. This place would have maybe gotten back up. Most of these people are kind of nodding.
See Chrissy's numbers. This is end over end. Fair catch called for at the 32 by Vanderpool. They put some pressure on Chrissy, run into him a couple of times. He gets that one away, and with 6:13 to play, we'll have a change of possession at the 32-yard line. The Mountaineers will take over for the 4th time in this 3rd quarter.
You know, after this game, John, Chrissy's going to have to move into the whirlpool with the big guys with the ice. Say, hey, guys, move over, because he's taking some hits. He is taking some hits. Believe it or not, almost hit, you know, on that play again.
We have timeout with 6:13 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Miami leading West Virginia 25-0. We'll have more football after these messages.
The steal.
He skidded into his left leg.
Into him, yeah. But Chrissy will be with the big guys in the training room after this game.
32-yard line. There's Costa. Not much success in the 2nd half. Of course, absolutely no field position for the Hurricanes. Walker, 30. Good move there. Spins forward to about the 34. Carlos Jones, number 12, coming up to make the hit. To get 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Well, Purnell had a pretty good block on that. That's his 3rd key block of the day. He's had some pretty good grabs, but they've not been able to amount to much in terms of scoring. You watch bottom of your screen, tight end, 82. It's a pretty good angle, gives you the corner. That's all the back asks for. Just give me a little room. He's done it now on a couple of occasions.
And they're kind of deep into the depth chart now because Dennis Scott is on, playing defensive back. Fake to Walker, turns away from pressure. Johnston throwing, incomplete. Again, it was the tight end, Purnell, near the 42-yard line, but too close to the sideline, out of bounds. It'll be 3rd and long.
Yeah, Tommy, you run out of sidelines because you don't push the route up a little. You got to stay vertical, try to buy yourself some time before you snap it out. If your timing's thrown off on any side of it, that's what happens. That's the result.
The extra receivers now on for West Virginia. Minifield and Jimmy Gary, number 21 and 88, have checked in. Split wide to the right. Abraham split left. Fake the inside handoff. Johnston's got some pressure. Steps away from it. Cuts it back, trying to get to that down marker, but he can't escape Ray Lewis. He was being chased by Kennard Lang. And Lewis finally brings him down. It'll be fourth down.
We're bragging a little bit on Purnell. This time, it looks like Lang, who's a much bigger man, just somewhat overpowers him. Purnell stays with him. Now Lang is on the chase. And Chad has shown us some real good quickness. I mean, able to get outside and do a few things. This time, going up against Ray Lewis is not the kind of contest you want to be involved in.
German fielding this punt. Back at his 13-yard line. Gets a block. 25, and he heads for the sideline as he crosses the 30 and is slammed down along the bench area by Pat Riley. German with the punt return. Sapp seems to be enjoying himself, huh?
Warren loves to play football. He really does. And, you know, in their mind, all they're thinking about and hoping maybe Penn State stubs his toe and that they get a chance to win the Big East and have a shot at a national championship.
Offsetting personal fouls. We check some other scores on our Ford scoreboard with South Carolina leading Vanderbilt and Ohio State really laying it on Purdue in the first half. Halftime at Tech. The Hokies over the Panthers by 24. Texas now has opened it up a bit in the second quarter on SMU, 21-7. Duke rolls on. You like them, don't you?
I like them a lot. Showing no mercy either. Playing real good defense.
From the 27, this is the best field position for the start of a drive for Miami in the third quarter, which still has about 4.5 minutes remaining. Ferguson trying to sweep. Steps through a tackle, and down he goes near the 20-yard line. J.T. Thomas made the play, but he was able to sneak past Matt Toffoni, number 3, who got in there and had a chance to drop him for a loss. It's not much of a gain, a couple of yards. Let's continue to take a look at other college scores this afternoon. Texas A&M, the early lead over Rice. 3-0 Northwestern over Indiana from the Big Ten. Minnesota leads Wisconsin 3-0. Here it's 25-0 Hurricanes, and Miami has the ball. Quick throw by Costa to Jones. They ride him out of bounds. Harold Kidd was there defensively, but he cannot stop the pickup of the first down as they get to the 39-yard line. And you saw on that pattern maybe a difference between these two teams. You recall that in the first half, when West Virginia is still very much in the ballgame, Abraham ran a similar type route and was a yard short.
Excellent point. And I really have to, I put a lot of credit on the wide receivers. I think it's their obligation to get to that yard mark and have a good feel for the game.
First and 10 from the 39. Ferguson up the middle. He'll get a yard. Right there is Curtis. To drag him down. Sort out the rest of this football season for Miami. They keep their national championship hopes alive, depending on, as Rick mentioned, how the chips fall. Virginia Tech on the 29th. At Syracuse on November the 5th. They have the Pitt Panthers at home on the 12th. They play at Temple on the 19th and finish up the regular season against Boston College. Still cakewalk. Second down, about 8.5. Costa sets, looks, throws in the flat. The catch is made as he inbounds. Yes. German with quite a battle over there right in front of the West Virginia bench with Aaron Beasley, and he comes down with the football. So good catch by Jamie German. Beasley had great coverage.
Yeah, he knows it too. I like it when, guys can almost pat the opponent, on the back and say, hey, man, great effort. This ball is up. He skies again. You watch the Miami receivers. They practice a tip drill. That is extraordinary for him to go up and maintain that concentration. So he has the catch, then he loses, and he comes down and holds on.
234 yards passing. Costa's hit half of his passes this afternoon.
Got a feeling that one will make the Miami highlight film.
Just over 2.5 remaining third quarter. Harris is the motion man. Here comes Ferguson on the sweep with the pitch. Trying to get outside. Gets away from Curtis. A flag comes down as he goes down near the 46-yard line. Charles Emmanuel made the tackle. Puppy Wright was over there defensively trying to make the play. And let's see if this is holding call against the Hurricanes. And the penalty's really starting to pile up. It's an illegal block against Miami. Started out a bright, sunny fall afternoon, turning a little bit gray, and possibility we could have some showers moving in this afternoon.
Perkins is playing a pretty good job here, but he does get hooked. Puppy comes up, and again, you want to string it out. The longer you string it out, the more you give your guys a chance to come in and make a play. You know, Steve Dunlap, the defensive coordinator, you look at the score, you say 25-0, but he's going to pass out a few awards. I mean, they have played well. Take away the big play that they've given up, and they've been solid. You know, that front seven has done some real good things.
They certainly have. The teal green split wide to the right. 4 receivers in this formation. The shotgun on first down and 24. Costa looking long, overthrows everyone. Tellison was the closest to it, down at the 40, and again a flag is down. Miami has led throughout, up 25-0, but it's getting sloppy now.
It's a tough thing for coaches. I mean, guys are conscious. Hey, we're up on this game. You see them jawing on the sidelines a little bit. You want to keep them focused. You have to kind of, hey guys, forget the score. But it's tough to forget the score. There's a guy.
Ricky Perry finished for the afternoon. You see a wrap on his ankle. He has not played in the second half, I don't think.
Looks like he's lounging on the beach in Miami, huh?
Football's all the way back at the 25 now. That makes it first, and according to my calculations, about 38.
I'll say this about Ricky Perry. If they're going to win these games, this stretch drive coming up with Syracuse, Virginia Tech, you have to have number 73 healthy and playing for you.
25-0 is the score here. We're in the final 2 minutes of the third quarter from Morgantown, West Virginia. Home of the Mountaineers. They will enjoy homecoming here next week on the 29th. Football is all the way back to the 20-yard line. It's first and about 1.5 miles. 5 receivers in the formation. Costa from the shotgun. For Tellison at the 35, 40. They Tellison will just step out of bounds as he gets across the 40 to the 41. They get part of it back. 21-yard pickup on that play.
They run crossing routes real well. And again, if you're a quarterback at Miami, and that's why it's always been a quarterback's dream, because hey, you know you're going to be in a spread set, and you're going to have great athletes you can get the ball to, and everybody's pretty much unselfish. When one of those guys gets a pass, other guys go out and start helping. They chip downfield on defensive backs.
At about a third of the yardage back on that pass play. It's second down and 22. 3 receivers left, 2 right. Looking again for Tellison. He wasn't open. Finds German at the 50. Down he goes near the 48-yard line.
Oh, he's mad. He's mad at himself. He really wanted to stop and try to reverse field, but on the crown of this field so far, it's been pretty tough to do that. We've seen a lot of guys slip. Frank showing a little mobility. First receiver's not there, so he rolls out, going across his shoulder. So you watch the crown of that field, and it's just not working for these guys today.
There's the crowd. Those guys are not really standing in a hole.
Yeah, no, not as bad as Norman, Oklahoma. Those Sooners.
Third down, 11. The original line of scrimmage was the 47. Incomplete. A surprised Randy Fulmore hit him in the right hand.
It was a candy cane. Got to catch it. You know, Costa, they're not going to be that happy when they look at their films in the second half. They've just not played well at all. I mean, that is clearly a yard and a half, you know, behind the receiver. I mean, Wembley, no way in the world could he make that play.
A walk-on from Columbia, South Carolina. He is playing with a shoulder that was injured in the Pitt game. Van Washington now back to receive the kick. No pressure this time from the Mountaineers. Washington calling fair catch. And he bobbles it, goes back, it's loose, it's in the end zone, and it's in Miami's hands, I think. No, it's still scrambling for it. That's a touchdown for Miami. Finally coming out of there after the scramble was Eugene Ridley. Remember, the defensive unit But Ridgely, we have a flag down. So hold everything. It's a touchdown. With 40 seconds left in the third quarter, what else can go wrong for the Mountaineers? Ridgely recovers the bobble after it was kicked around a bit. Everybody had a shot at it.
Well, he's not in a good position to receive that. You know, he's moving around. He's not square on it. At this point, you know, it's a jailbreak, and you see the canes all over it.
Penalized on the kickoff.
Boy, that is weird. The ball's on legs. It's on the foot. He comes up with it.
The first time that Washington had been back to receive a punt this afternoon, and it turns into a disaster.
Will attempt the extra point.
31-0 with the extra point to follow. Chrissy to hold for Pruitt. It is good.
Kick is good.
7 more for Miami with 40 seconds to play in the quarter. They're celebrating a 32-0 lead. Van Washington unable to handle that punt. And Ridgely finally picked it up in the end zone for a Miami touchdown.
It's interesting. Let's watch this. The guys that actually had a shot at it. First of all, Washington. He has
number one
first shot. There's his second shot at it. And you see guys going around at it.
Lewis.
It's like Lewis goes through his legs. Then you're going around. You see 53 to 55. Now watch the ball between his legs. Then the ball's on his kneecap. And then finally, really, that is tough. That is tough. Another one of those plays that will make the Hurricane highlight film.
With 40 seconds to play, after the muff of the fair catch by Washington, it wound up in the hands of Ridgely. He was in the end zone for a touchdown. Now the penalty against Miami is going to push the kickoff all the way back to the 20-yard line. And slowly but surely, the 63,760 are heading for the exits.
Offensively now, if you're a member of the Mountaineers offense, you have to try to score. You got to get the goose egg off the scoreboard. I mean, that is imperative. That's the one thing where pride has got to prevail, and you just have to do it.
Vanderpool backed inside the 15-yard line. A little bit of a seam at the 30, but that's taken away as a flag goes down. He got out to about the 32-yard line before he was tackled. But the flags have been flying on almost every play here in the second half.
We're going to set a flag record next.
There are the two quarterbacks, Collins and Costa.
On the return, 10 yards from the spot of the foul, first down.
That'll put it back at the 20-yard line, first down and 10 for West Virginia. 40 seconds left, and Rutgers and Boston College locked up 7-7. Wow. BC is on the 10-yard line, we're told. BC trying to pull it out in the final minute against Rutgers at home. We'll keep you posted. 32 seconds left in the third quarter here. Walker gets away from one tackler. Finally dropped deep by Lang. Walker trying to move outside. And guess what? There's a flag on the play.
We've talked about it. You can't bounce against this club.
It's offside against Miami. Put it at the 25-yard line, make it a first down and 5.
We talk a lot about the bounce. Well, obviously you can't go where there's no hole, but you do want to stick it in. Every time you double back, the more you go backwards, the more white shirts get in, and that's manhandle at that point.
Well, first it was Francis, then Barnes, the linebackers, trying to put a hit on Walker, who stays in the football game. Minifield has replaced Zach Abraham. Johnston rolls away from some pressure. He doesn't have any choice but to get out of bounds at about the line of scrimmage. Maybe he'll lose a yard on the play.
The Canes, they hit each other. They got to hit somebody on the play. So
Lang and Lewis,
just runs into
they were out of town when they ran into each other. It's a loss of a yard on that scramble. It'll be 2nd down and 6. We have 1 second remaining in the third quarter. This will be the final play of the third quarter. The Ears trying to get their offense untracked. Again, the tight end for a first down. Purnell makes the catch. Ray Lewis makes the hit, but he's outside the 35 to the 36, and it's first down for West Virginia. 32-0 is the score. That's the end of the third quarter. It's been all Miami here this afternoon. We'll be back for fourth quarter action from Morgantown after these words from our local Big East stations. The only touchdown in the third quarter scored by the defenses. Ridgely recovered that fumble in the fumble in the end zone. And some somber looks on the faces of the Mountaineers. They want to score, and that's the one thing Miami doesn't want to happen. And that's about all that's going to make the fourth quarter interesting.
Well, quite a role reversal from a year ago, isn't it? Happy faces on the Cane sideline.
1st and 10 from the 36. And that is a good burst through the middle by Walker. Finally got untracked a little bit. Put some straight ahead speed for a first down as he gets to the 49 before C.J. Richardson comes up from the free safety spot to make the tackle.
Now this is the acceleration we're talking about. Watch him. He gets right in the crest of this hole and he spurts. And this is what made him so effective a year ago.
Picks up 13 on that play. And not much to show for his afternoon for Walker.
One little move there. You make one guy miss, and if you're going north-south, good things can happen.
Trying to follow the blocks and moves into Miami territory. Down to about the 47-yard line goes Robert Walker. Lewis and Marvin Davis, one of the backup defensive tackles, teaming up for Miami. A little different story for Miami Hurricanes this year. The weather's warmer, and they played a lot better.
Oh, boy.
Second down and about 6 out of the shotgun. Johnston guns it. Nice diving catch for a first down at the 35. He was inbounds. An excellent play by Jimmy Gary. No, Rashawn Vanterpool made the catch leaning out of bounds. Vanterpool with the long stretch for a first down.
Boy, this is timing. See, he sets back, boom, he lets it go. Gets that ball out. Boy, Rashawn, he leans out, makes a great catch as we watch the finish on this. Good hands, recovery, nice catch.
Nothing you can do defensively about that.
No, that's not. That's good.
35-yard line. We're early in the fourth quarter. Walker resets himself. 3 receivers in this formation. Johnston looking long, throwing long toward the end zone. Incomplete. Had a couple of receivers. Vanterpool was there. Earl Little, number 4, going up defensively, but you had two ears who were a little too close together there.
Yeah, Little's there. Give Rashawn some credit. At least this time he comes back and makes sure he breaks up the interception. See, no pressure by the Canes. If a quarterback can sit back and get good vision, you'd like to see a ball more on target. That's good effort by the wide receiver. You are coached in practice, and once you feel like you can't get the football, you know, turn defensively and knock it down. Give your team another shot.
They've turned the lights on here at Mountaineer Field. Johnson to Walker. Now, Walker is going nowhere because of Ray Lewis. Let's check out this game statistically after 3 quarters of play while the celebration continues for Miami. 322 yards to 146. At least West Virginia has gotten on the plus side in terms of their rushing yardage.
We have 12 yards rushing. Better than -3, but still. It will put you in a position to be successful.
Third down and about 11. From the 36. Johnston. He's gone the distance and he's going down. Wrapped up that time by Kennard Lang. And Lang, just a redshirt freshman out of Orlando, 6'4", 251 at least.
Well, get set for him because this guy Look at him, just bull rush, sheer power and speed. He's listed at about 251 pounds. So again, put on a few meals, and that's about 265, and with great speed and range.
Sauerbrunn to kick. Tries to angle it for the corner. That did not work out for him at all. It's not been a typical Sauerbrunn day punting the football this afternoon. Prior to that kick, averaging 44 yards per punt. 12:31 to play. Miami leading West Virginia 32-0. We'll have more after these messages. Results in from Boston College. They were driving for the winning touchdown, but a fumble, and it winds up a 7-7 tie. Rutgers and BC. What about the other Big East game this afternoon? That is Pittsburgh playing the Hokies at Virginia Tech. It's 31-0, we're told, in that one. 32-0 here. Ball just outside the 20. And Collins is on. Costa finished for the afternoon. Collins drops it out to German. Steps away from one man. Almost slipped again. He cannot get away from Beasley, who spins him out of bounds near the 27. Jamie German makes the catch, and there is Collins now, and he is in a mop-up role. Completely the reverse last year, for example, at Pittsburgh, when he got his first start through the 4 touchdown passes. It was Costa who mopped up for him.
Yeah, definitely. Things are different, but when you've played before and you know you're on a good football team, I just think you want to play. You don't care what time is on the clock. You want to get some reps because you're always just one hangnail away from playing again.
And Collins will be the man next year. The gain is just 1 to the 22. It's 2nd down and 9. Little play action fake. Collins sets, feels pressure, steps up. Down he goes. Back at the 16-yard line. Barry Hawkins getting a piece of that sack for the Mountaineers.
Hawk has really impressed me. Costas now, his engines are off. He can just watch. But big number 99 has been all over the field. Is playing as if the score is tied, and that's what's important for defensive players, to just continue to come. There we watch Curtis with some pretty good pressure. That's a good team sack.
J.T. Thomas finishing off the play back at the 16-yard line. 3rd down, 15. Shotgun and a 5-receiver formation for Miami. Collins sets, looks, throws deep down that far sideline. The race is on, and it's incomplete. Shipman in a battle there, hooked up with Harold Kidd. They have tested Kidd again and again today, and for the most part, he's stood pretty tall.
Now, Kidd can run. That's a good. That is a track meter. Shipman and Kidd going downfield. It appeared that Kidd had a shot at this until Williams comes over and maybe knocks him off. If we take another look, good to see the free safety converge on it. Yeah, Kidd's in good position. He's in real good position. Very well done.
Chrissy to punt. This time, he muffs it. He's in the end zone. Kicks it with the left foot. Picked up and into the end zone for a touchdown for the Mountaineers. West Virginia scores on the special teams. Rodney Allen. Number 28. Chrissy tried to kick it left-footed. You've had some games in the last 2 weeks, Rick. I'm sure you can't believe the plays you've seen.
The special team play has been unbelievable. Unreal. Well, the Miami defense can still say that, they've not given up any points. Special teams, well, it's just a clean miss. The ball is there, it's decent. You start to think about shades of Gerald Premium. There he goes to the left foot, goes right in the hand, and score. Well, the Mountaineers, those who hung around can get a few cheers. See, you casual, you wait. That's there. I mean, you can catch that, and I'm sure you wish you had it at that point. Now the scramble.
Now what am I going to do?
What am I going to do with this thing so I can get them? Those years of playing soccer paid off.
Now my question is this: does he get credit for a punt return for a touchdown there? We'll have to double check it. They line up for 2. Legal procedure will be called. He did kick it.
Yeah, he did. That's a kick. Maybe that is a return.
I don't know.
To put some pressure on a statistician.
On the offense.
Oh, my. The mishandled snap. West Virginia now, after the penalty, still going to go for 2. Johnston throws it into the end zone, intended for the tight end. It's overthrown, incomplete. Are they going to get a flag?
Of course.
Why?
Do you question that?
No, I guess there's no reason to, is there?
I see. At some point, you have to also deem is the ball. Can you catch the ball? Is it playable?
I don't think it was.
I don't think that was at all. Wilt Chamberlain would not have been able to get that one.
We are told that officially he does not get credit
Holding
for a punt.
On the defense, half the distance to the goal. Replay the try.
They'll try it again. It's going to wind up being a minus 14 yards on a punt yardage. You take 14 yards away from them, from the team punt yardage. Now let's try this one more time. Nothing doing.
Was CJ.
This could not get it in. Warren Sapp made the tackle of Jim Freeman, the fullback.
Mr. Sapp and CJ, 2 dominant players on this Hurricane defense again. Good pressure at the line of scrimmage. You see CJ comes in. There's Ray Lewis once again.
And actually Sapp just finished off the play.
Tops it off for you.
11:19 remaining to be played in the football game. With the score Miami 32, West Virginia 6. We have these words coming up from your local station. It's been a good day for Miami defensively. Warren Sapp and company. And officially, it is credited as a 2-yard punt return for the touchdown. So it was not the defense that allowed the touchdown. Not able to get back to the 20-yard line. Mountaineers all over the place, hustling down on the play.
And another flag.
And another flag. That's right. Anderson made the tackle, and that yellow hanky is on the ground once again. Personal foul against the Hurricanes.
Personal foul on the return. Half the distance to the goal. 1st and 10.
Once again, bad field position for Dennis Erickson's club. They have had no field position at all in the second half of this game.
Well, he'll have enough footage to work on how to work yourself out of your red area. I mean, they'll be able to break this thing down. That's about the only positive you can gain from it.
From the 8-yard line, it is still Collins at quarterback. 3 wide receivers in this formation. Jones trying to get outside, ridden down on the play by the combination of Thomas and Van Washington. We have seen plenty of flags here in Morgantown. As a matter of fact, 26 penalties have been accepted. 138 yards against Miami and 96 against West Virginia. But 3 times for Don Nealon's club, those penalties cost him possession of the football.
Yeah, absolutely. Good point. And I'm sure that Dennis Erickson, I know for a fact that you don't like it. You constantly go after and try to work and improve on it.
32-6, the Canes lead. Trips left formation. Jones, 25, 30, 35, out to the 40-yard line before he's dragged down. That's Shipman. And Charles Emmanuel came up to make the tackle as Al Shipman took the handoff that time in there for Larry Jones. The 3rd tailback we've seen in the absence of Stewart this afternoon.
Talked about big number 73, Ricky Perry, who's on the sideline with ice on the ankle, but in his absence, that offensive line still doing a pretty good job. Terrell Green has replaced him, and look at that run. Great hold, nice back, sticks it in there, and gets good yardage. Yeah.
about a yard this time before Shipman is snowed under. Thomas and Hawkins teaming up, and those two names have been called a lot.
This guy's huge with his pads off.
It's exactly
he actually has his pads off, folks.
Second down and 9 at the 41-yard line. He is huge. Remember, he's just a junior. He's from Carroll City High School in Miami.
That's scary. That is scary.
6'7", listed at 310.
Yeah, right.
I'm just going by the listing. 10 minutes remaining in the game. Here comes Shipman the other way. Banged out as he gets to the 48-yard line. Shipman taking the hit as he goes out of bounds. Do a little bit of strutting. Aaron Beasley laying the lick on him. He'll be to join us here on the Big East TV Network next week. Our noontime game not far from here. We back up the road in Pittsburgh at Pitt Stadium as the Panthers try to salvage something from the season, taking on the Owls of Temple live at noon. All Big East action next week. Boston College, after that tie today, plays at Army. Virginia Tech and Miami. That's a 3:30 start. Louisiana Tech here for homecoming, and as we said, Temple at Pittsburgh. Third down. First down for Shipman. Still on his feet, fighting for every inch that he can get. See exactly where they're spotted. Looks like it's going to be about the 43-yard line. That is plenty for another first down for the Hurricanes, who've decided to put it on the ground now.
Well, Captain Green, again, we've talked a lot about 51, Tyrell Green, who has filled in right now at the tackle spot. He has started and played some guard, but Ricky Perry is out. And he's coming in and done a real good job. And they're just, this is what they would do. James Stewart been here. I think you've seen a lot more of that today. Larry Jones has been in sparingly and has some good runs as well.
Shipman, we've seen Ferguson back there in this one back offense. This is Jones again. Trying to lean his way to the 40-yard line. J.T. Thomas makes another tackle. Down to the 41, a gain of 2. Second down and 8. Miami now beginning to work the clock and pile up some yardage.
Well, this is what it takes. I mean, you got Tech next week. You start getting them stiff competition. You got to be able to let some air out of the tire. You do that by pounding the football.
The parties went long into the night a year ago here in Morgantown. Be that way this afternoon. Collins in trouble, dances away. 35, and down he goes. Collins just squeezing across the 35 to the 34. He'll be about a yard short of a first down.
Talk about some nifty feet. I mean, you watch this. The average quarterback is sacked on this. He steps up, goes left, goes right, and kind of wiggles his way through and still picks up. You know, stumbles a little bit, picks up some good yardage. They're a different offense. You know, with Ryan at the controls, and just imagine if they were to get out and run just a hint of option.
That's right.
I mean, that would just scare you to death.
Right now working a couple of seniors in this offensive line, Rumelski and Terrell Green. We've talked about him. This is third and short. They're basically, this football team is very young. Shipman is trying to lean for the first, and he should have it at the 32-yard line.
They don't appear to be young. You know that?
They don't look young.
Sapp, they don't look young. When you look at a guy like Ricky Perry, he's young. He's got time. Warren Sapp.
Where Sapp could come back for one more year.
Absolutely, and has said nothing but the fact that he would return. Kennard Lang, a freshman. Ray Lewis, the only true freshman to ever start for Erickson at linebacker. So it just goes on and on.
We've seen Yatil Green make a touchdown catch. He's another freshman. For Jones in the end zone, touchdown. Jones makes the catch as Kidd hit the deck, and Chris T. Jones will celebrate a bit. That is the Miami corner. A lot of Hurricane fans are down in that corner of the end zone. The northeast corner here at Mountaineer Field, and Jones with his second touchdown catch of the day.
Well, the good news for Mountaineer fans is that Chris T. is a senior. So you won't have to have that. You won't deal with this anymore. Once again, he just plays the ball well. I mean, they are coached to come back to the football. They play it well. And they do it so often. For some clubs and some players, it's a one-shot deal. Not for the Canes.
Pruitt for point number 39. No. It's the only area that Miami has had a problem with. Pruitt not able to knock it through. It's 38-6 with 7:34 remaining to be played here in Morgantown. We have more football coming up after these messages. More time. It's number 2 this afternoon for Chris T. Jones.
Nice stride. Gee, he's going for it. This is a go all the way. Kid has a good look, and then he stops to go up. He slips, but Jones doesn't. He goes up and makes the grab.
Now the DT on his helmet is for Darrell D.T. Henry, a junior high school football player. His team was having trouble winning. They were 0-4.
0-4.
He got a number. He wrote a letter, first of all, to Chris T. Chris called him back, brought some of his teammates out to the game. They won.
They won the game. Yeah.
So they're going to stay in touch and be good friends. And of course, it was D.T. Henry who scored a big touchdown in that game as his team ended their losing streak. Being remembered by the Hurricanes here this afternoon with 7:34 remaining to be played in the game.
You know, neat part about it was that they didn't do it for publicity. DT's mom actually called the paper just to let them know what some of the Canes players had done all on their own. That was a great gesture.
From the 8 for Vanderpool. Ridden down as he gets to the 20-yard line. Jeffrey Taylor made the tackle. Here's that scoring drive.
83 yards, 3:45 on the clock, and really the first drive, with the exception of the opener, that they employed the run. I mean, they got after it that time and really stuck on the ground for a while.
And Miami has had no real field position at all in the second half, but they're able to march the length of the field. At the 25, a new quarterback, that's Eric Boykin from Dayton, Ohio, a transfer from Michigan. About 4 on the play by Cantroy Barber, a transfer from Colorado out of Miami, Florida. There's Boykin. His numbers in 1994. He did make some starts. You talked about the shuffle early in the year.
He had an opportunity. I mean, it was his job. But, you know, the 5 INTs, the 2 TDs, that hurts you. It really does. And they were very young in his defense in the opener. And they went against some pretty good people.
6'3", 200-pounder. Some pretty good power running by Jimmy Gary from Okeechobee, Florida. We have a lot of Floridians playing right now on both sides of the football. Next week for West Virginia, it is homecoming here in Morgantown as they take on Louisiana Tech, and the trip to Temple. They will finish with 2 home games, Boston College and Syracuse. Third down, about 3 coming up for Don Nehlen's crew. Always enjoy coming to Morgantown. The ears will be back. You can count on it. Boykin wrapped up and dropped for a loss that time by Booker Pickett, number 53.
Well, you make a good point. Number one, the hospitality here. We had a great meal last night, and everybody's friendly. This is a football town. They expect to win. Young players, you're going to have to take some knocks. Right now, the offensive line is taking some knocks.
Well, it's been kind of like that. You went back to 88, and they came back up last year in 93.
Dominant in 88.
Yes, they were.
I mean, they were beating people left and right.
Last year they had to squeeze out some victories, but in 88 they just overpowered people. Beautiful high kick back inside the 20-yard line for Gator. Gator able to move out beyond the 25 near the 27, and that is more of what we're used to seeing from Todd Sauerbrunn. 38-6 is the score. 5:29 remaining in the game. We'll have more football here right after these messages. The snapper on the team, all you have to do is snap the ball, right? Wrong. Here's the long snapper trying to make a tackle.
Oh man, Scott has no idea. And that is Mr. Jeffrey Taylor, freshman linebacker, who fellows will be talking to him when he gets back to Miami. It's good to see that Scott could pop up with a laugh, but I guarantee you tomorrow there'll be a bruise on his backside.
He did not see that one coming.
Of ice.
5.5 minutes to go in the football game. Miami will have it at the 27-yard line. This might be the best starting point they've had in the second half.
I think you're right.
Well, let's go down one more. Scott Covington, number 17. They have more C quarterbacks than you can count, because they also have
big in C's and T's. I mean, they really are.
Brian Clement, Ryan Collins, Frank Costa, And the number 17, Scott Covington. Covington, a freshman. It is Clement. Okay. We're told that it is Clement, the freshman, a true freshman out of Denver, Colorado, who's wearing number 17. Fourth quarter, big victory for Tech going against Pitt. Second down coming. No flag for a change. That's Gator. And Gator's got a Miami first down. They finally roll him under at the 39-yard line, but a redshirt sophomore from Miami, a transfer from San Bernardino Junior College. Tony Gator with a big pickup, a first down play out to the 39-yard line. Texas now laying it on SMU in the third. Duke over Wake by 25. 14-0. Nebraska leads Missouri. The Tigers are struggling. Texas A&M over Rice 7-0 in the second. And Northwestern now has opened up a 10-point lead on Indiana. That game is at the half. We're in the final 4 minutes of the fourth quarter here in Morgantown. Along with Rick Walker, I'm John Sanders. Gator takes a pretty good hit as he gets close to the 45-yard line. Van Washington coming up, getting some help there.
You know, John, we talked about the fact that Perry is out 73. But they've got another guy that's 6'8", 333 pounds, Freeman Brown, who's in the ball game now for the Hurricanes. So don't feel sorry for him with graduation.
Absolutely. He's playing behind Lumelski.
That's right. He'll be out, but this kid, 78, is an absolute monster.
He's in there at the left tackle spot, but he also plays right tackle. The pass and the catch made at the 48-yard line. Trent Jones making the reception. Another first down. There he is.
He's listed at 333. So let's put him at about 350.
And they are both from Carroll City High School in Miami. What do they feed him at Tech High School?
Oh boy, I want to go through that cafeteria, through that line.
Just
lunch line. I want to go through that lunch line.
First down at the 48-yard line of West Virginia. The backups are finishing out the final 3 minutes and 20 seconds of this football game. Gator falls down in a heap. Leonard Mayweather, number 98, was there defensively.
Play covered by number 98, Mayweather.
And also Eldridge Williams. A lot of the backups getting some time in now.
And the key to their offense is because they spread you out with a lot of 3 wide receivers and throw quick. If you get these monsters at tackle, I don't care who you're going up against, the speed rushers, they force you out wide and they give you some time.
You just simply don't have enough time, to get to the quarterback. Second down 14 after the loss of 4. Gator on a draw play back to about the original line of scrimmage, maybe 5 yards before Frank Browning drops him. Frank, the former offensive player, he wears number 15. Frank Browning was a quarterback in junior college at Taft Junior College. He's out of Virginia. He obviously just aiding his way out of a quarterback's job. Do we have another flag down?
Of course.
2 minutes and 32 seconds.
10 yards. Replay. Second down.
Come back to the 38-yard line. His second down and about 24. It's been a long afternoon for Don Nehlen.
You know, we're talking about the size of these kids really on both sides of the line. I mean, West Virginia, they're no midgets. I mean, they have some giants too. I just can't believe how these kids are this young and that big. I mean, back in the Stone Age, it's 275 and you were a stud. Nowadays, that's a tight end.
Jermaine Chambers in at a wide receiver right now. Again, it's Gator keeping it on the ground. He gets back to about the 45-yard line.
Stop made by number 15, Frank Browning. And number 58, Emerson.
We're in the final 2 minutes. We will be announcing our player of the game shortly. The ballots are still being tabulated down in the truck.
That's going to be close.
Another strong performance by Costa.
Oh, yeah, 1 or 2 of the offensive players in the entire defense of Miami.
From the 45-yard line. Third down and about 16 for the Hurricanes. It will be a much happier trip up I-79 and back to the airport. The flags are down. Trent Jones trying to get outside and does at the 50. Stops for a moment, spins away from a tackle. He's back to about the original line of scrimmage. Now let's talk about our Molson Ice player of the game. Hats off to Chris T. Jones. He caught 3 passes. 2 of them took him into the end zone.
He made it happen. He took the sting out of this crowd early on. That was probably the most significant thing that happened, because there was a point where this place was about to go nuts, and he silenced them.
Congratulations to Chris T. Jones, our player of the game. And the officials will sort out still another penalty. This is against the defense. Illegal block the other way. Still third down. So 2 more. We got to be close to 30 penalties.
We'll be all penalty this week. We'll make that. We'll be all penalty team, first team. We will.
Minute 6, it says on the scoreboard clock at Mountaineer Field. And Don Nehlen and his coaches are never going to quit on this team.
Oh, no, he's still coaching. He's still coaching.
Matter of fact, this maybe is when you have to coach the best.
Well, you're thinking about, homecoming coming up next week. There are a lot of people that were realistic. They didn't think, not the coaches, but the fans thought, oh, well, Miami's a better team this year. But next week, they'll be expected to come out and win this thing, in a big way.
It'll be third down again, about 12 from the 50. These guys have had more conversations than you can count this afternoon. It's been a roundtable discussion after almost every play. If what they called is correct, I think they have it right.
Unfortunately, they call the game as if the score is 0-0-2.
That's right, they do.
That's the bad news.
It's third down, about 12. We're in the final 35 seconds of this football game. Miami has led all the way. It was Chris T. Jones midway through that opening quarter with a 52-yard touchdown catch. Costa with a pass. Gator ridden down as he crosses midfield by Longino, and one of Longino's problems have been back spasms. Sophomore from Cleveland, Ohio. And West Virginia calls timeout. West Virginia calls time with 15 seconds to play. The fans don't seem to like it. Okay, let's see what's happening. Penn State, after that big win in Michigan, is off. Colorado will be tested by Kansas State tonight. Nebraska is winning. Nothing going on for Auburn, Florida. What about the bottom half of that top 10?
Well, you look at Texas A&M, again, they're winning. Miami, yeah, obviously. Alabama is amazing. There's an undefeated club we don't talk a lot about. Washington, dominant. Florida State, number 10 ranked team in the country. It seems weird to say that. It also seems a little weird, let's face it, that Notre Dame is not in the top 10.
It certainly is.
There's some definite changes this year in college football.
Those shocking back-to-back losses that the Irish suffered. I mean,
yeah, it is just a little weird.
Second quarter, Nebraska 14, Missouri nothing.
It's a fourth down play coming up. The Ears apparently want the football one more time. I think most of the people who remain would like it to end.
They like to take them out of the misery, but if you're a coach, you want that one play. That offense still owes us one good play.
Well, if Miami did come looking for revenge, they've certainly gotten it here this afternoon. Gator again. He'll be knocked out of bounds. That will stop the clock one more time with 9 seconds to go. I think Dennis wants it over too.
Yeah, but he can't admit it. He's got to hang in there. Plus, you got some kids who are playing who haven't played a lot, and they want to play.
Talk a little bit, if you will. You've seen Miami more often than I have. How does this rank? Obviously not as emotional a win for them as it was to beat Florida State 2 weeks ago, but certainly important as they try to win the Big East championship again.
What is important for Dennis and his club to, you had the loss at home against Washington. You come back and have the great emotional win. And you got to come up to West Virginia where you were beaten, and you got to have enough poise to hang in, and you know you have Tech coming up. So there are a number of reasons to why this entire coaching staff, has got to keep good communication with the kids and make sure that they don't look beyond West Virginia. And they didn't.
West Virginia has one more chance at it. But no place to go. That should do it. Dennis Erickson wins another one. Miami still only one loss in Big East Conference history. And Jeff Nixon get credit for carrying on the final. But the final is in.
Dash on this one.
A big win for Miami. They roll here in Morgantown. 38-6 is the final. For Rick Walker, I'm John Sanders. Thanks for being with us. Join us next week at noon. Temple and Pitt. The preceding has been a Big East Conference Football Television Network production. So long, everyone.